Good evening, good night, good morning, good afternoon. This is the Titans, so we're there, man. So we see the brother, my other brother, them are like in. Yes. So we're there. Tonight, act, extra act. Because we have enough things to talk, We're going to deal with the information minister. That Tumblebug. We have to deal with Tumblebug. Hey, Lady, let me tell you something now, brother. Device not connected, you lied? Yeah, alright, you're good now, you're good. Alright, yes, brother. Mystic, what?
What's up?
Alright, brother, me not there, man. Alright, so we have to deal with Mystic.
Yes.
We have to deal with Tumblebug in the night,
Cool.
Yes, because, she run out and defend the Prime Minister with him because arms or speech. And we know that with her. She defend the 3 trillion and attack all it about fake something. Me have that one I can play too. Because she really out and go over some little step. Yeah, melting pot. You up and go fake something. Yes, brother.
Melting pot.
Blessing love, my brother.
I melt up the whole of your pot, I melt up the whole
Definitely.
of your pot. I have a boil over upon them tonight, volcano. Yeah.
Everything in good order, man. The pot in a good order and the fire blaze.
All
So everything I go melt up tonight, the corruption, we have to melt that up.
Hey.
Yeah, man. Tumblebug, we have to deal with fair case tonight.
Yeah, I'm sure, man. I'm not gonna make it here what am I going with. And then Andrew Holness come out with something. But we have to show him again, Byron. We have to show him about money laundering and everything. And we have to show them again.
Exactly.
Because when Despot come and talk, remember them not treat nobody, You understand? Unlike him, I use liar now and frighten. So I don't know who them are fighting. But Tumblebug argument today, Tumblebug says she see things on social media and concern about fake. We are going to play that. Let me just start the show because she out of order, man. We're going to put her in a fair place. We're trying not to look for her or look fair way like with that bug life, just thinker. That's such a feel. But she are going bad.
Yeah.
No shielding for the wicked. Make we start the show because we have to deal with this here, brother.
Yeah.
Right away. Titans, more two about it. 1 a.m.
Start packing because you are going.
Hey, Titans, hear this now. One of my police brethren sent me a voice note since night. And the voice note I said, so you lonesome. But like when the Titans start, when it are done, you will love you when you hear sheriff say start packing.
All right.
Yeah, me just listen to them, me just send back and say, yeah, man. Them say them love when they hear start packing,
Yes.
Police brethren. All right, so we could start from Tumblebug because she run out now and things say she. Remember, have no credibility around you, so you have not all around you. So. Nobody no believe in you. The other day them catch you and you're stupid. Remember just talk to us straight. You're stupid. And you're stupid. You have the chairman for the party that Agintime. Him come out and him apologize to the motorists and to the people them not working. Andrew Holness himself come and say them no do nothing at all. And you come and say I'm the best prime minister and him a work. That make you stupid, girl. Know yourself. Know yourself. That no make no sense. It make any sense, Titans?
No.
Them
No, absolutely
admit
not.
them now work. And she come and talk about him and do things and what have you, You idiot. Don't take yourself and turn on our side round here. Don't do it. Make you look upon this. Make you start it from here, so. Make you hear what Shasta write, so make you dissect this.
Appeal to all ministries to submit outstanding financial reports to the Office of the Auditor General.
Now, this follows a review of the Auditor General's annual report by the Jamaica Accountability Meter Portal, JAMP, which found that $3 trillion in spending has been unaccounted for over 6 to 11 years.
As Kalisha Williams reports, that and other issues were discussed at Wednesday's post-cabinet press briefing.
First, Information Minister Dr. Dana Morris-Dixon indicated that the review done by JAMP was taken out of context, and it is important that the government clears the air. In pointing to the Gleaner article, which reported on the findings that $3 trillion has been unaccounted for across several government ministries, and while noting that the article did state that the funds are not missing, she expressed concern about what has been said on social media.
And I've seen the reports, and I've seen even social media campaigns, and
Who shall talk about social media campaign? No, we're going to deal with fair case now, Because you know, me tell us that tonight, when I ease up on you, we are trying to ignore you. We just say it's just a little piece of thing and a little kind of ignore you. That's what I was just thinking about. No, you put yourself in the lineup. You hear her? Campaigns. She saw social media campaign, right? Okay.
letter writing campaigns that are happening based on false information.
False information. Hold on. False information, she say, hear this.
The reality is that some ministries have not finished doing their accounts, and that's a problem. But there are no missing funds.
And
So look what she done now. Hear what she does to people. Maybe let's rewind that. Rewind that. If you tell we, remember just move a little, remember talk to my brother there. Right? Me could talk to my brother. We have to deal with this first. If you tell me, say, the funds, there is no missing funds. But the ministry, and a false information, them give out. And the ministry, no finish, do them editing, so them not do it. So you tell me, say, over the whole of them term, the 9 years where them did it. The ministry not do nothing, all of the ministry not do no editing, or do nothing at all, for them get it. Oh, it used to run without this problem before. That makes sense to you, brother? What she does is bullshit. You have ministry that's we have the bureaucrats, we have one who work in the ministry, we have permanent secretary in the ministry, right? We control each ministry, right? What she attacks say it making a sense to you? Every company, Grace are bigger, each ministry. Tell me one of them ministry are. It bigger than the production for Grace Kennedy. No, Grace Kennedy all over the system and everything. And them have to do them have to do everything. They have them auditing. When you do them kind of work by run. So it have a file pan time. And if you spend money, it have a file and them have to know how you spend the money. You can't come tell me that. For 9 years and them still audit. And them still do them thing. For 9 years, brother, I will 11 that make it worse. It make any sense to you? You know, sister, she had done. Just stupid, man. But, man.
Well, let me just say something right here in terms of the level of stupidness, right, that we heard coming out of her mouth. Right, number one, and let me quote in terms of what she said. She said, some ministries have not finished their accounts, right? And so then, as a result of that, right, then we are not getting the totality to understand, where those so-called missing funds. But this is where now she put herself into a bind and the government put themselves into a bind. So let me explain it to the people. You have, as it relates to the ministries that she had been speaking about. Number one, you have the appropriation account. What is the appropriation account? That is what we want to tell the people and define to the people. What is the appropriation account? The appropriation account, right, is a report that captures all expenditures through various ministry that's supposed to be filed annually, right? And every ministries should operate with their individual internal audit system. Now, having said that, she is now saying to the Jamaican people that from 2010, as according to Janet Calder, from 2010 until we speak, right? Those for some ministries, right, appropriation account, right, has not been completed and processed. You understand what I'm saying in terms of the annual report? So then this is really serious. And so let me ask, what you call her, Tumblebug?
Tumblebug.
I would want to interview Tumblebug, right? I would want Tumblebug to tell me, right, for those appropriation accounts that have not been reported, right, for the past 10 years, right? How is it that she's going to now gather all the evidence and present the facts? I want her to tell the public. I want her, right, to come back and tell the public how these ministries, right, are going to be accounted, right, for all those expenditures, right, within the appropriation account, right, that was supposed to be submitted. One of the reasons, because guess what? Again, as it relates to the procurement processes, right, many of the traceability has been eroded by this administration. So then, how is it that she is going to now look? When
she said we are do because she said social media and it concern and fake. Fake about the Andrew Holness.
Hey,
like and your hairstyle fake too.
Yes.
Fake. Stop the food. And by the way, Byron, can you really throw away off, you know?
Yeah.
Can you imagine every year, fiscal year, you have a new budget. But now them are edit and them can't hard it nothing. If it done over 6 to 10 years or 11 years. Them can't hard it nothing. But you have a fiscal year come up again, you know. In our March.
Yes.
When them have a new budget.
Yes.
So even when them have shortfall and them say shortfall, it come over in this budget. And you still them not done that neither yet. And then it just continue run like this. We don't know what them that means them chop money all over the place. Which I say it don't make no sense. Every year you have a fiscal, you have a budget, you know. But I know them can anytime come over, over decade. And she say, what she say fake.
Put this out there. One of the things that the Auditor General, right, had discovered, right, billions of dollars paid to a company that is not even registered. How is she going to find that?
You understand? Right? So this is what we are saying. So
paid to a company, right, that is not legally registered. So let me ask her, how is she, right, is going to find the trace evidence? Right? What you talk about? Bullshit.
Up here bullshit. So what am I going to do now, you know? Patch up something like you, but it have to equal the $3 trillion.
There's nothing like that.
So you can come patch up something and come push it out away and say, oh, I've been up there. Go and see it. And then you put a sit down there. That's for sure Andrew not work none at all. Even them around him, everybody get lazy. The whole term, 9 February and 9 years. So if you even go 11 February and 9 years, and you sit down for your whole term not doing nothing at all about you're the best prime minister, she say when I talk about him a prime minister, him a this and that. Hey, we no better move from there.
All right. Well, I know how is it going to be patched when you have ADMAT out there? When you have Bobby Speakers Guild with the police vehicles and the missing money. How is it going to be? How is it going to be?
Bobby Montague.
Bobby Montague, sorry, not Bobby
Against
Montague.
that, yes. And against. Anyway,
So-
you know, so Picasso, you know, brother. Well, no, brother. You know, so Picasso, I give time feed. Can't watch you, you know.
Yeah.
Again, tie you way attack. Now,
sorry to Mr. Pickard's Bobby Montague. Yeah. So how is it going to be patched? Huh? I don't know. No, she coming out and telling the people, and look here, that sort of damage control is not going to work. Is not going to work. Because number one, what we see as it relates to the second report done by the Integrity Commission, right? Simply means money laundering activities, right? Plain and simple, right? Where people, right, try to change this and try to change that, try to jump out of company and support. What people need to look on, people need to look on Andrew Holness' empire. And when you start to look on Andrew Holness' empire, you will understand. So Andrew Holness cannot, you know, jump out of Estate Bridge and said, no, I am not a part of Estate Bridge. No,
who might tell that, brother?
Estate Bridge is a part of your empire.
Good.
You, Andrew Holness, designed this empire. And let me say this before we get into the details. None of this that is coming out is not going to cloud up, you understand, the sky. Because guess what? Investigators will be going back. So let me tell Andrew this. More Andrew, listen to this. Regardless of everything and your PR message and the people that you're coming out to spread propaganda, none of this is going to work. And let me tell you why it is not going to work. The investigators are going to go back to the original source of the crime. If there is no investigator going back there, then nothing is being investigated. Any investigator investigating this financial crime has to go back, you understand, to the original source. So what investigators want to know, and let me tell the investigators them, we want to know how ADMAT source its capital injection. That's what we want to know. Simple. We want to know how ADMAT, because it starts from ADMAT, right, where you use ADMAT to buy your first sets of properties. You understand? And we know, let me say this to you, Andrew. We know why you went, right, to do the interview with Abka Fitz-Henley. Look here, you can't hide this, you know. The record is there, you know. Right? So when you were trying, I want to say something, David. When you were trying to tell Jamaica that you came in with $47 million, you know what? Let me tell the Integrity Commission investigator something. All of the money that Robert Gov't, all the money that Robert Gov't made as it relates to all those contracts that had gone to Robert Gov't, the Integrity Commission investigators need to look on Robert Gov't during the period of time between 2006 to 2009 and see how that money, right, that venture into Robert Gov't accounts, right, where did it go after leaving Robert Gov't accounts? If any of those money enter into Andrew Holness' account, because we have Robert Gov't and roughly about 3 of Andrew Holness' companies as directors. Hey, Andrew Holness, you can't get from coming at you. Go ahead, Wayne.
But hear this now. Even Robert Gov't, even if him have a director and him other things, because them buy things in the name of ADMAT. So him himself that have move, money can buy things because ADMAT, him come and say, you know, when the 143,000 US from SSL going there, so him say him never have no account for ADMAT. That's why that account open and then put the money in investment. But we not see no investment going in SSL from him or from them. Them on go collect from SSL, brother. See? I'm going to be a fierce. And I'm going to take people for either. Let me tell you something too. Let me tell you something. I want melting pots or something. I want blaze tonight, you know. We not want to put them. Hear this. The eagle fly. I'm going to tell you something on Holness. So, feather. The eagle decide a feather. And according to where the eagle ear feather, I said to you, say them a come lick down tree, must a tree. I want to get it straight. I should have just knock it when the eagle just sing to me. Them a lick down tree something after the house they were built. And them tell you, so you have to fix it, set it. So you set it. But yesterday I go on, remember Adam, when name Adam and your son? Him on the roof. So feather don't tell you already because them down there, me say them a lick down something up there. Figure set that up there, so. So I mean, say this other minds and this other minds, but your feather tell you that about me ear, the eagle attack to me. See? So you see when them whisper, them don't know so the eagle the right side of them in a better. The eagle there. Because something they must have planned figure demolish some things and they might try, set it back before it demolish. Because feather down there now. That's why they never want them for winning, That's why they never want the PMP for going at that,
Exactly.
Because you see so much corruption, it's unbelievable. Not more than all people.
Yeah.
And just one. Because them things them can do PR and use Tumblebug. Nobody no want to see a Tumblebug. So they make you are the misinformation and disinformation already will run you away. Come out of our way. We name the Titans, we not play with nobody. Maybe just tell you from now. Like Titans.
Yes, my brother. Greetings to everyone at the chat room, in the space of social media as well. Yeah, locally and in the diaspora. Well, tonight we have in front of us a political activist, I don't call her no minister for information. She's a political activist, Tumblebug. Because at that Andrew Holness have her use her as political activist with a mouthpiece that is aligned to all the accessories and the corruption that is being committed by Andrew Holness. So she's merely a PR personnel for Andrew Holness to speak on behalf of him. Because him can't take the platform, Because remember, him now no more substance we bring forward to the people as it relates to all the investigation that surround him. So him use Tumblebug. And Tumblebug come and run out and defend a criminal prime minister. Now as a woman, Tumblebug, yeah, you supposed to assure yourself in a different light, Because remember, the majority of Jamaican population is female, women. You understand? And woman is the backbone of growth as it relates to your population. They are the one that bear the suffering when you have corruption. And as we see in the case of the young 14-year-old, she couldn't get any medical care because of how the country run under the corruption scheme. And for you as a big old nasty Tumblebug, I run out and I defend Andrew Holness, yeah, because everything is up in here now, Not now hide again, The shackles are break up around him. You understand? And everybody see what is under the skin as we peel it off. The whole heap of corruption we made a hide. So we know, say, IC take him to court. And the IC wouldn't bring him in that space if them never uncover all the corruption. Because the Integrity Commission is not a stupid arms for run out and attack nobody as well. Uno proclaim to be. Say him being witch hunted. You understand? Uno supposed to know, theoretically speaking, that the leader for the party, the Prime Minister of Jamaica, is being investigated for illicit enrichment. And the statutory declaration cannot be certified. For God knows how many years now, and we have one more coming up. soon. So purely on that basis, you as a woman shouldn't come out and defend Andrew Holness, I better you leave this part of Andrew Holness' life to Juliet Holness, because I think she know more than you, Because you're not privy to all of these corruption, So for you to come out and speak on behalf of Andrew Holness as it relates to his corruption activities, you're wrong. And what you're doing, you're just making yourself look like a big, stupid fool. Minister of Information. You're Minister of Disinformation. You're the one who's coming out in the space and making problem as it relates to you not being transparent enough to say what you know or what we know. Because the Integrity Commission reveal it. We see where Andrew Holness practice what you call money laundering by setting up shell companies, putting them, outside of Jamaica to begin with, and doing all various type of activity as it relates to planning permission for his building construction, right? Changing it willy-nilly because him have no regard for the law that preside in Jamaica. Andrew Holness think that him can demolish all the law that is written in the Constitution because he is this big, bad, mighty Prime Minister for Jamaica. So when we find out, it is clear as daylight. Andrew Holness is one of the most corrupted Prime Minister ever set foot in Jamaica. And is one of the most wickedest Prime Minister to serve the people of Jamaica. Because Andrew Holness take everything from Jamaican people life, and leave them on a poverty line, survive while his riches is being, astronomical. Billions coming out of the ghetto and into politics does not give Andrew Holness the right to carry out all the malpractices that he has carried out in the space of a Prime Minister serving Jamaica. And what we have problem with right now is when other people who are elected to serve cannot have a mindset of their own and speak out against the corruption that is affecting the citizens in Jamaica. And that is hampering the growth of Jamaica as a country. So Tumblebug, right now, me I tell you, say you put yourself in a space, worse than bug life, Yeah, you put yourself up against the Titan and we have to deal with you. Even though you're female and would have want to give you some more, perspectiveness as it relates to respect. We can't respect you. We cannot. Because we're not going to respect nobody that endeavor and endear themselves to corruption. Corruption is something where we want to rid Jamaica of because corruption does not grow a country. What corruption does to a country is demolish it. Yeah? Because corruption is always something that some individual try to orchestrate, in them own space. That's why you see it carry the hide and seek hypocrisy to it. Because corruption is something clean. So nobody not really reveal them corruption, them hide it. As in the case of the shell company them, where Andrew Holness set up. Him set them up for hide the corruption. You understand? Because in the first place, Andrew Holness as a Prime Minister should not be engaging himself in so much business activities, trucking, housing development, media spectrum, all this various type of activity. So what time does Andrew Holness get to work as a Prime Minister for the people in Jamaica? Is that working for the people in Jamaica? Andrew Holness is there sitting down on them lousy ass, collecting Jamaican people tax money, doing nothing but ripping off the country. and destroying the massive life in Jamaica. Everybody I feel it under the hands of Holness. And as Byron rightly said, it is time that people become privy to Andrew Holness corruption and look from the inception when him start out the skullduggery with Gavin and Deso, we have to piggyback from. And from we piggyback this out, we are going to just run through all of Andrew Holness activity, you know. Because remember, you know, him can't hide nothing. Because paper trail will lead to the discovery of all of the illicit activity where Andrew Holness do. So, Tumblebug, beware of yourself in the space where you serve as Minister for Information. Because he is not Minister of Information, he is Minister of Disinformation.
And misinformation.
Yeah, and you not serve no purpose. No purpose you not serve. Because right now you basically come out and lie to the people in Jamaica. After everybody don't have them own view and them own perception as it relates to Andrew Holness, you still want to come out and put some paper over the big old crack them we see. We can't allow that. Get real. I better you leave the politics altogether. Because what you do, you demoralize yourself, you know. I remember Andrew Holness can't save you, you know. Because Andrew Holness can't save himself. So if you think that Andrew Holness will provide a canvas to cover you, when all is said and done, you're making a sad mistake. You're making a sad mistake. Because I see a whole lot of people trying to defend this man. And personally speaking, I know all who come out and defend Andrew Holness is not privy to the height of corruption. They might know certain things, but Andrew still not make you know everything. But uno run out and try to defend the indefensible. You understand? And it needs to stop. Because remember, you know, a taxpayers are paying, you know, to deliver a service for them, which is good governance, good representation. But what you do? You fall foul on an obligation, which is on a job. Because all are you corrupted. I have never seen an administration with so much corrupt people within it. So much dishonest people serving as representative of the people of Jamaica. You don't need to go on side now, man. You don't coming like a big load of shit. What do you know? You don't mean Jamaica not good enough. You don't mean Jamaica not good. And that's why we want anytime we not serve on the time we not serve it. Now the dungeon in Jamaica we want to create over the years. Yeah, we don't want no overseas prison sentence to nobody. We don't commit the crime at Jamaica, we don't serve on the time at Jamaica, and we don't create a new environment as a prison for you know. We not going to the same garbage prison. We don't have the rest of the citizens them in her. And remember, you know, no found we feel like you know in the clear, you know. You know, find yourself in a hot water, you know. Because when the right time come and the proper auditing done, some of you will feel like you know in the clear, you know, get auditing too. Because remember, the whole of you practice corruption, you know. But Andrew Holness, him lead the relay. You understand? And pass the baton on to the whole of you. And you fleece round the place. We know the bag of wealth and the riches. Well, we know you can't amass that based on the salary. Yeah? We have some super rich politician in Jamaica where before them becomes in the politics affair, them don't have nothing. Them family background have no well trace to it. But these men, all of a sudden, they are multi-billionaire in our country. You're mad? And the people them not have a life. Even when the people them a try to assemble a life for themselves, the way on corrupted in our self and evil in our self, when you destroy the people them livelihood. Because it's all about the little elites, the 5%. We can't have Jamaica in that space anymore. Jamaica have to rid itself from corruption once and for all, and the process has just begun. Let me tell you now, the process has just begun. Because Andrew Holness never knows the Integrity Commission did not come at me now. Because remember, him used to endorse them and the good work they are doing.
But you see, when him, all right, so when him Jacob, I want to finish the video about light, when him Jacob, when the pandemic come in, and him Jacob and not change up some sitting try hide run and then film time and them can't get verify and them send back and then them send so it start raise red flag. I him raise the one red flag in the Bible. And like
yeah, because I move.
I'm gonna play the thing them back and it shows that these kind of people put in themselves, them do themselves injustice. Them always I try hide and do some little shaky move that it expose them. Them greedy, them a choke and them still a grab for more. Them a grab for more. You understand? And at this I hurt the place. Me want to show you now. Because I finish play this time. We're not Anjo. Are you want mash up in the night, you know? Let me just tell you from now. Yeah, before I show something and then the Titans are going to deal with the case. So I'm start you tonight. You feel just go away. We not joke with you. You feel just go away. Alright. Me say the mummy return. She destroy fear oneself. Who was the Minister of Education the other day? For a couple of years. Who was the Minister of Education?
Favor.
How much money the Minister of Education in the 3 million? No, 900 billion.
Yeah.
902.
So them take her now, put her, look how she fool now. Here what she say right so in the same talking now. The woman has shoot herself on her 1 foot. She forgot to share the Minister of Education for much years right now. And I fear one of the biggest cut of the money out there. Where she run? Well, did I run it and then she come take it over and do her thing, don't it? Exactly. Look here. Yeah. Look how she fool now. Hear this. Look if it makes sense, like. Hear this.
The reality is that some ministries have not finished doing their accounts, and that's a problem. But
you're big and fool. Or if it take you 10 to 11 years, finish your account. And you hear this? But we fake. Just we attack fake, but yes, still the problem is some ministry not do them account. Not finish. Them account for 9 years, people, 10 years, some of them 6 years, and them not finish them account. What did to the world span of this administration? It make any sense to you? You hear what the problem is? I think them a hide money chop. And I don't think that no, it will be all of the 3 trillion gone, you know. But some money chop, them want to make up some fake thing and them stuck. You hear what should I say the problem is? But you still read up on social media and it's a fake. Eh? Look on this tumblebug nastiness. It's all she out of. You hear the problem? Continue. Voila.
But there are no missing funds.
And when
Yeah, there. Them not finished to them auditing, but there is no missing funds. Or you feel audited 2016-17 you audit. And you can't done it where you could have done so. Yes, still the Prime Minister said no money for road, no money for hospital, no money for nothing at all. So why you audit so much? Hey Byron.
Yes.
I like them have the easiest auditing for do. Because the man the only thing him do is to pay down debt. And yes, them take the money and give some people when them not come in same way and say them do work and them not do it. That's why you don't have the paper. And the paper trail. But when she attack, no make no sense. You hear this?
Mm-hmm.
Every year, you know, no care which business you have to done an audit, you have the people that work with you and it's sending. You hear what she say? Them not done audit yet.
Mm-hmm.
But you still be fake, but false, you know, but them not done audit yet. This make any sense? You know, see this is a senseless. This is a senseless bug.
Very senseless.
I hear do I do something. But I hear do I turn I don't know if it's a acid or something this front away. We know it's a tumblebug, but the head not good none at all. Continue. Here, the one near Mommy Return now, where she sit down there as the education minister for so long, and a fear portfolio of the most money, you know. When I get account for, you know, here I know.
Wednesday's post-cabinet press briefing, it was further explained that due to a change in the system, some ministries have not been able to submit their financial reports to the Auditor General. However, JAMP did describe the funds being unaccounted for as a financial crisis.
Of course, JAMP says a financial crisis.
And given the current climate, it is not clear whether mischief did not play a role. But in going further, this is what Finance Minister Favour Williams had to say.
Many of these appropriations accounts were outstanding during the period 2012-2013, which is the fiscal year 2012-2013, to fiscal year 2015-2016. So the new administration that came in.
Your piece of shit. 2012, it was a new administration came in. 2012, 2013 was a new administration. Come in. Such as the 2015, 2016, when the new administration, after them think it's in 2015, 2016, you know. And then that means 2016 go up, then the pass are not, you know, by 2017, 2017, 2018, 2018, 2019, 2019, 2020. Even when you have the pandemic, all them for buck Byron, but nothing never do. Oh, but she kill herself, but shoot herself in the foot. Hey, go outside. Your piece of shit. Go outside and come from front of it.
All right.
When I run with none of them. Can't hear this. She's the finance minister. And she have 902 billion. But she can't tell me how it's spent. And she know turn off. She was the education minister, you know.
Yeah.
And the fear portfolio, you know. Yes? That's a $902 billion. She can't tell me how that money going, you know. And she know a finance minister now. Even that, where she was a part of, the amount money, 100 billion in the finance ministry.
113.
So even then, she can't come explain to it. She have to go outside. And she mix up in the two world. She have to go away. She has shit too. Yes, Byron.
All right. Look here. I want to talk to Jamaica, and particularly, right, Favour and Tumblebug. And I want mainstream media. And I also want Big Mama to ask them this question that I am going to ask them. Based on what both of them are saying, right, that there is no missing funds. People, look what they are saying. Listen keenly. There are no missing funds. Now, they also said some ministries have not completed their audits. This is how they put themselves in trouble. This is how they put themselves in trouble. Because me as an investigator is now going to ask them a question. If you are saying that there is no missing fund, and at the same time, you are saying some ministries don't finish their audit, then tell me, we want you to explain to Jamaica how you come to that determination in saying that there is no funds missing.
That me want to know. That me want to know better.
How you come to that determination? What report that you look on, right? Because remember, you admitted that many ministries have not completed their audits. So then if many ministries have not completed their audits, how you determine that there is no money missing? Now, is mainstream media are the journalists catching up on these things? Right?
No.
Ask them this. So I want tomorrow some media house ask the question that I'm asking tonight. If some ministries, right,
finish it,
have completed their audits,
yes,
how is she going to determine that there's no money missing?
Byron,
okay. All right.
Byron,
yes.
Add this to it. How is it that the whole of the man a term, the whole 9 years, the whole height, now them not finish them audit from then till now.
Yeah.
I know the audit. Not remember every year in a year for audit and we have to know what going on and everything. And money just a running night same way and them not finish the audit neither. Put that on it too, Byron. So what she tell we say?
Well,
So we are the fast what? Yeah, idiot.
that's why the Titans have to come and me tell us if we bring out the sledgehammer tonight.
No, man, carry it, man. I'm telling
All
you.
right. But watch this now.
Yeah, man.
Let me speak to Jamaica as it relates to the Integrity Commission investigators. And I'm going to say something tonight that is extremely important. I know that you have some persons having perception as it relates to, the Integrity Commission, right, is not doing so much of a good job. For me, right, I am contrary to that narrative.
Byron, for us.
Yes.
And the Integrity Commission, we see what they do.
Yes.
Yes.
So, personally, I am going to explain why. Let me say this to the Integrity Commission investigators. Kudos to you all, because we believe that you are doing an excellent job, going above and beyond, right, with the little help that you are getting from a corrupted administration. So I want to speak this. Here's the reason why that the Integrity Commission is strategically utilizing their investigation. Now, you have a corruption prosecutor, right, who has now weaponized our office politically. And let me say this corruption prosecutor have no interest, none at all, right, to prosecute Andrew Holness. I am confirming that, and I have the evidence to confirm that.
You're right.
Now, let us move from the corruption prosecutor to the DPP. DPP Paula Llewellyn, right? Although that she's out there, and we have Thompson acting, which hurt, right, the Jamaican pockets, because we have to be paying to DPP, you understand, to make Andrew Holness charade looks good. Right? Now, Paula Llewellyn has no interest in prosecuting Andrew Holness. And let me explain why. So both the DPP and the corruption prosecutor, right, they are using two weapons, right, as it relates to, number one, statute of limitation, right? That when a case, right, gone over the time, as it relates to the time expected for the case to wrap up and put into the court, then it statute bar.
Short. And to throw it out.
Okay. Now, they also use, as it relates to what Kamika Prince used, the corruption prosecutor, use what we call abuse of process. And so then Andrew Holness feel that, you understand, he's okay because, of course, the corruption prosecutor is in his pocket. I am speaking it as it is. And it's okay that the DPP is also in his pocket. Yes. Now, let me say something.
Yeah.
We are speaking it as it isn't, because it is what it is.
Byron.
Yes.
We could just find one little thing in the house the other day when Pantan and them go there, right? And make it clear to Chuck and everybody where they each up in that Pernell Charles Jr. that are sleepy, and the one of them, they make them know, so listen me. Even if you have a vehicle and are from 1960, different from where the twins are doing, then make it know, so even if you're 1960, we are come there. Long as you have it and you move it, so even if you go back in the 1960s. So when Prince talk about what passed in 2007 and 8 by Iran,
Yes.
them just come make it known that the house, even if in the 70s or 60s, we are come down there, you know. From you have the land or you have this, so them come and them come talk and double up that and make sure say, hey, you now run out near a Prince. Because we are going for them, you know. Even if it go back in the 60s or anyway, from as long as you have it in your position, we are coming after it. That's why Andrew Holness, you know, see my half-flow things now. You know, see my half-flow things.
Yes.
To him son and everybody else gift. Continue. Yes, continue.
So watch this. Right? So then the Integrity Commission investigators have to be strategically, right, and what I call politically inclined. Simply means watch the wave of the politics. Right? Now, where am I going? I don't want to speak it out. People, I want you to follow me now. Where I am going, right, as it relates to the IC, right, as it relates to my subjective opinion, let me say that, because I don't want people go, you understand, say otherwise. But the way the IC is moving, right, and acknowledging the obstacles ahead, the IC is moving strategically. Let me say this clear, with the obstacles ahead. Now let me say this. I'm going to say this, right? Giving a little bit where people can decipher or deduce from what I'm saying. Now, if the Integrity Commission should push out everything under this administration, where the DPP is highly political, let me say it, because it is what it is, and the corruption prosecutor is highly political, then guess what? Those cases will be crumbled. Think of it, what I'm saying. Think of how strategically the Integrity Commission investigators have to move under an administration that is corrupted, under an administration that gone rogue, and where a portion of the criminal justice system hinge on corruption. And so then, the IC has to play his card in a very strategic way. So I'm not going to say any more on that. I am telling people, be calm, be still. God is leading the way. Now let me say this now. Let me juggle down now. Now, Andrew Holness came out in either 2022 and 2023, and he had spoken quite eloquently, you know, applauding the Integrity Commission investigators, that they have been doing a good job. Wonderful job. Wonderful job. Now, people, Andrew Holness believe that to the fact that he came out and he spoke good of the Integrity Commission investigators, the Integrity Commission investigators would have backed off. Because Andrew Holness knew, even when Andrew Holness was saying that, right, as it relates to applauding the Integrity Commission, Andrew Holness knew that he was under investigation. I am going to prove it. I'm going to prove it and tell people. Now, let me go back to something as it relates to Azan. And if loan some of the clip,
Yeah, man,
bring up that clip. Now, I am going to talk to the people and tell the people them who Andrew Holness is. Andrew Holness is a narcissist. And he think he's smart, but he's stupid. Me, I am telling Andrew Holness that he's stupid. Right? And totally naive.
So, me ask, you know, I'm showing them Sabasita, Spalding, them are the man bill. So, you upon them asphalt, yeah, and this the people them that for stand up on that. And this make the whole of that them have to resign. That's this.
Yes.
No thief in money, not at all, right? All right. But could do this and then you continue by one.
Yes.
I have to knock him with
Yeah, man,
this.
me love how you play. Play the clip.
Yeah, I have to knock him with this because
Yeah.
around here, so you know, we're all by your own words in Anjo.
We are drenching tonight.
We are drenching, yeah, man. That there, Anjo said that there. Look on this now.
Comfortable sitting in
Listening
Parliament
good people
with a Minister of Government was openly accepted responsibility, who expresses no regret for the act.
Hold on.
Where a commission.
Ben, stop the clip there. I want to tell Jamaican people to listen to something. Right? I want you, Jamaica, locally and in the diaspora. I'm going to ask you to play back the clip. Right? I'm going to tell you. Hold on, wait. When Andrew Holness spoke about Azan openly accepted, people need to know that Andrew Holness take a long pause. He paused long. There's a reason why Andrew Holness paused long. And I'm going to explain it after Wayne done the clip. So I want Wayne to play the clip and I want people to observe that after Andrew Holness said openly accepted, Andrew Holness pause.
Yes.
Right? And think what he's saying carefully. So
yes, every word on a listening word. Remember, him had the opposition of people at the time, you know. And you him say no political or what him have to talk because yes, it's political. Yes, still in rush the opposition no answer them and them set him up. Him can't be too weird. Watch this.
We don't feel comfortable sitting in Parliament with a Minister of Government was openly accepted responsibility, who expresses no regret for the act, where a Commission of Parliament has confirmed that the act is corrupt and has referred it for prosecution.
No, what the IC same come up in a people and carry them gonna court, you know. We see the documents, you know. We see where I'm having, you know. This is not the man never have a cent, you know. Richard Azan never have a cent, not at all, but yes, still, it will bring down the whole entire government. That's why we have to pressure this now still. It's not good.
And that minister shows no sign of wanting to resign, or the Prime Minister showing no signs of moving to dismiss the minister.
With all the sympathy that one can have for support, this is embarrassing. Not only to the government as a party, not only the PNP, but to the government, to
So look what Andrew and do what I want to do. You with the 1,500 acre land. So only no more embarrassing. And now the Prime Minister we're gonna finish plate. You see what I want here, some people? No mercy for Andrew on this boy, you know. Alright, continue.
To all of us, our heads bow this morning with this sort of reaction to it.
So we have to take firm actions in this regard. It is a dark day for Jamaica, where the Prime Minister is unwilling or afraid to act against a minister in which the public has lost total confidence and in which the institutions of the society are all agree that this person does not enjoy their trust or faith and has breached the confidence that the people have placed in them. I believe that this has the potential, if it continues, to bring down the entire government. We don't
decide. So, hey, in Figuena, better. No, you hear this now, people. You say who we are dealing with? Brother, finish talking, Byron, because we're going to melt him up, you know. We have to melt him up in the night. He's gone too far now, man. Yes, Byron.
So what I want to say to the people, that they are to take note of the pause and what Andrew Holness said. Now, at the time when Andrew Holness made that statement, Jamaica need to understand that Andrew Holness was under investigation. That is the reason why Andrew Holness paused. What Andrew Holness said was very important. Andrew Holness said, from once the person openly accepted, and he paused. What Andrew Holness is saying, although, right, he didn't say it, I want Jamaican people to listen to me, that he is not going to openly accept it or admit it. He's not going to openly admit it, any wrongdoing. He's not going to do that. So then, we have to catch him as it relates to the evidence that need to be revealed. What he said there, to the fact that he openly admitted. So then, he wouldn't have a problem if he didn't openly admit it. So I want to show Jamaica Andrew Holness' state of mind. Now, let us
Byron, before you do that, I want you to read this. And it's the reason why I'm going to put it up, because you say him not openly admitted something. But tell me what, him feel him not openly admitted things, you know, but him openly admit it. So more you read from up at the top. Remember, you can't see it and you want to open it bigger. I'm going to show you something, because you don't say the openly admit it, but can't pass this. Right?
Yeah.
You can see that I want to open it bigger. You can see it?
Yeah, expand it. Can you expand it?
Expand it. Hold on. Let's try it up a little more. Expand it a little more. All right now?
Yeah.
Dry it out more. Yeah. All right. Let me see if I can dry it out a little more. All right. You can't see it now. Go on. Go through.
Okay. Estate Bridge entered into a land.
And him them attack to. Look who them talk to up here, so. Look up at the top. Now I show you say admit things when them say admit him, I hear that, you know.
Yeah.
Read up at the top in a letter.
In a letter to the commission dated April 4th, 2023. I don't know who they call him Dr. Holness, you know.
Holness, you don't call him Dr. Boya, I might hear. Just, yes.
In a letter to the commission dated April 4, 2023, Holness also indicated inter alia the following.
No, remember, you know, you just say him now openly. Look how him fool now. This are the same building we are built. Continue read now.
Right?
Him said this.
In open quotation. Estate Bridge entered into a land development agreement to develop property owned by ADMAT at 2 Wycliffe Close, right? Wycliffe Development. Before the agreement, the principal of ADMAT Incorporated intended.
What the principal? Hold on, we don't go so fast. What the principal for ADMAT?
Andrew Holness.
Good. So him admit him, I tell them, remember, and them ask a question, him write them and I tell them, you know. So him admit the whole of this, and yesterday I try deny it again, you know. Continue now, continue.
Okay. The principal of ADMAT Incorporated intended to wind up the company and transfer its business to a local registered company. In anticipation of the winding up process, ADMAT liquidated and or transferred its assets to Imperium, right? Except in the case of 2 Wycliffe Close, which was considered more economical to transfer directly to Estate Bridge, being the entity that will develop the land and ultimately subdivide it and sell the units. The property at 2 Wycliffe Close was therefore transferred to Estate Bridge free and clear. Imperium and Adam Holness, subsequent on attaining the age of majority, held shares in Estate Bridge to secure interest in 2 Wycliffe Close, which was then the main asset of Estate Bridge.
Somebody said admit to them now. So I'm not saying he have no link to it and I'm son. Him just push it off and say, well, the shares. You know, say, what am I do? Him can't take people for you that are film things. He might push him son in a danger.
But man, that's what I'm seeing there, right? Is
he might be, you know?
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing there is actually money laundering, right? Where Andrew Holness, right, doing all the shifting and all this and that, right, to hide the original source of funds. Goes back to Adman. And this is the interest in terms of why Andrew Holness, right, has now liquidated Admat, right, to push Admat, right, out of memory. You understand what I'm saying? But Admat is the foundation of Andrew Holness' crime. Because Andrew Holness, and this is what I want to explain. Remember where the Integrity Commission investigators stopped the investigation. Let us go back there. The Integrity Commission investigators stopped the investigation to the fact that, right, Andrew Holness cannot explain his source of wealth. That is where the Integrity Commission investigators stopped the investigation. The Integrity Commission investigators had given Andrew Holness umpteen time, right? Because remember, his 2021 statutory declaration has not been certified. His 2022 statutory declaration has not been certified. His 2023 statutory declaration has not been certified. So then the Integrity Commission, right, had given him umpteen time, right, to bring or to explain, right, the source of wealth. Now, the Prime Minister decided that, look, he's not going to, give them, right, what they requested, or his inability to explain his source of wealth. So it stops right there. So then the Integrity Commission is saying, okay, since we are not getting anywhere further with this investigation, we now have to turn it to FID.
Good.
Where FID, right, has, right, the capacity,
yes,
right, to deal with the task. Now, watch this now. So people need to understand what is going on here. Andrew Holness know very well. All of them who are protecting Andrew Holness, both what you call our Tumblebug, right,
and Mummy and all of them,
right,
just
and both Flavor, right,
yeah,
and all the other 48 members who mixed up in a corruption because they are corrupted, right? Yes. Know very well where FID is going. Now, FID is going to go back, right? Picked up where the IC left off, because the question as it relates to IC requests have not been answered. No. So then now when FID take that place, right, FID, of course, is going to look on the trail. They are not going to start and try to get cloudy with Estate Bridge and rare blah blah and Imperium and rare blah 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 blah. FID. Now, the investigators are going to go back to Admat. Andrew Holness have to explain how Admat gain its capital injection to purchase properties. Now let us back up, people.
Right. Byron, yeah, back up. But as I said before, when you just read the while, very important. The man just admit.
Yes.
To IC. Yes. Say, yeah, these are my things. I mean, again, because Admat him. Him tell me, So we get it. We see it. Him say him because him going to use him son them name.
Exactly.
And them was a baby. him are the shareholder. And him own it. So when him offload it, so you give your son something by that. Say your jug is something.
Yes.
And you know, police want and thing, but you could just before you even go into that, where do you just come and just give your son 10 million and then them left you alone because you give your son? That make any sense to you?
It's not going to happen.
You
That's
can
why
give your son, you just give him the shares and give him the land, and then I'm get money for build it, by the way. Because I'm not working, whenever I say you that work,
exactly.
you just come up.
All right. So that's why when I started, I said, if you remember what I said, Wayne.
Yes.
Don't look on Andrew Holness and talk about Estate Bridge and those individual entities. Look on Andrew Holness empire. Remember, that's what I said.
That's it.
Right? That's why I said.
Finish talk, I'm going to play something.
Yes. Look on Andrew Holness empire that he had generated out of ADMAT. So now let us look how ADMAT comes in. The original source of the crime begin as it relates to when Andrew Holness was the Minister of Education. Simply. Now, Robert Gov't, right, is a tool that Andrew Holness used, right, as it relates to the illegal awarding of contracts, you understand, through the ministry to Gov't. Now, people need to remember that Gov't, right, bear directorship in roughly about 2 to 3 companies of Andrew Holness. Bear directorship along with Mrs. Holness, Andrew Holness' wife. Right? So these monies, right, definitely, I believe my subjective opinion as it relates to illegal awarding of contracts, right, and where procurement guidelines have been breached on other occasions are those monies, right, that go into ADMAT. People, I want you to listen to me, you know, right? I want you to listen to me. Remember that we are saying this here on Titans, right? And that's why we want the investigation, you understand, to proceed. So you can see that what Titans were saying all along, Titans totally correct. So of the illegal awarding of contracts, right, breaching procurement rules and guidelines, all of those corrupted monies, those are the monies that strengthen ADMAT so that ADMAT can get its capital injection. Now that ADMAT, and that's why people need to understand the what we call the timeline of the corruption. The timeline of the corruption is 2006 to 2009. Now, between 2006 to 2009, 2006, 2007, right, with all those contracts going out to Gov't and so forth, okay, Andrew Holness need a company, you understand, to hide this money. ADMAT was designed by Patrick Bailey.
Yes.
So that now you know that how Patrick Bailey came into the picture, right? Because Patrick Bailey, who, right, created ADMAT for Andrew Holness to hide its capital injection, right? And where ADMAT, you understand, has now used to purchase properties. Now, let us step forward a little bit. So after now Andrew Holness accomplished that, now you have seen the reason we are building chronological sequence to the people, you know. Now you would have understood why Andrew Holness went on Big Mama station. Me know them listen to me, you know.
Them listen to me.
Why Andrew Holness went on Big Mama station to try to justify the corruption money between 2006, right, and to 2009 and everything that put in ADMAT. This is what Andrew Holness is saying now to Big Mama, to Abka Fitz-Henley. You know, when I came into the politics, I came in with $47 million, right? Yes, and he wants to justify that. Now, this is what we are done. Okay, you said you came into the politics, right? With $47 million. Come on, people, let us look. Now, when did Andrew Holness come into the politics? Andrew Holness came into the politics 1997. I want people to write that down, you know. Me mash them down tonight, you know.
Yeah, man.
Andrew Holness came into the politics 1997. Okay, all right. Let us look when Andrew Holness left university. Andrew Holness left university 1994. So what was Andrew Holness' first job? When Andrew Holness left university in 1994, I want to tell the entire world that Andrew Holness owed student loan.
True.
People, you need to bear that in mind. Andrew Holness, when he exited university, Andrew Holness owed student loan. Now, so Andrew Holness have 2 years that he worked for charity, which would be 1995 and 1996. So then if Andrew Holness is going to go on Big Mama station to justify $47 million that he came in with, Andrew Holness would be saying that during that 2 years working for charity, he would have amassed $47 million. You know that it is lie from the pit of hell. Now let us look into that 2 years. We are mashing down tonight, you know. We are going into the sequence of events. Yes. So the 2 years being working as charity, right? Now let us look, right, as it relates to the truthful testimony of that argument. In 1997, Andrew Holness got married. Now, Andrew Holness never realized that his wife would have been given an interview, right, speaking about their marriage. Now, as according to Juliet Holness, speaking about her marriage, Juliet Holness said that in 1997, they didn't have any money. Back up, people. Isn't that Andrew Holness told Abgafis Henley that he came into the politics with $47 million? Now, here, Mrs. Holness, in 1997, we didn't have any money. As a matter of fact, as according to Mrs. Holness, that she had invited people overseas because she had invited them believing that they wouldn't come. But surprisingly, the people came. And so they have to do a little fish fry.
But we get them a piece, Ivan.
Yes.
We get them a piece. I'll go to that part there.
Okay. Play the evidence.
Because they would not be able to come to the wedding. They live in the UK, they live in America and Canada. But we didn't want anybody to say that we'd never invite them. So after trying to keep the wedding to 50, and my parents started to tell me who and who not invited, and his parents started to say who and who not invited, we said, all right, here's the strategy. Send all of them invitation because they're not coming. We ended up, instead of having a wedding of 50, with a wedding of 250 people, because everybody turned up from all over and our mouth was just dropping. My father didn't think it funny. I told him that we should have actually run it like a fish fry, where we give them an invitation at a cost and you pay to come to the wedding. Because, all right, but we enjoyed it. It was wonderful, not very expensive, and right up our street. Know that you're...
Drive back, little.
All right.
Well, I will drive back little bit. Let me just play back that again.
In your community, come and cook up the curry goat and the rice and peas at Villaranai. And there we were married.
Want money? Want catch money?
In between our birthdays. I'm born on the 16th of July, he's born on the 22nd, and we chose the Sunday in between our birthdays. We could not afford a lot, so we didn't have a wedding planner, and we could not afford a big hotel. I remember we rented Villa Renai at the time, and we had a regular chef that you would normally have in your community come and cook up the curry goat and the rice and peas at Villa Renai. And there we were married. Everybody came like we
could not afford a lot. Them couldn't afford nothing at all. Them never have the money. Them are married. I remember play it again for the year. Not our side. We like have evidence and show.
So I would never have a child unless I am married. And I remember saying that we need to be able to buy a home first, need to get married, and then we can think about having children. I remember we got married, 1997. We planned, I don't even know, we sat down, we talked about it. I think we decided to have our wedding in between our birthdays. I'm born on the 16th of July, he's born on the 22nd, and we chose the Sunday in between our birthdays. We could not afford a lot, so we didn't have a wedding planner, and we could not afford a big hotel. I remember we rented Villa Renai at the time, and we had a regular chef that you would normally have in your community come and cook up the curry goat and the rice and peas at Villa Renai. And there we were married. Everybody came like we invited all the relatives that we knew lived very far away because they would not be able to come to the wedding. They live in the UK, they live in America and Canada, but we didn't want anybody to say that we'd never invite them. So after trying to keep the wedding to 50, and my parents started to tell me who and who not invited, and his parents started to say who and who not invited. We said, all right, here's the strategy. Send all of them invitation because they're not coming. We ended up, instead of having a wedding of 50, with a wedding of 250 people, because everybody turned up from all over and our mouth was just dropping. My father didn't think it funny. I told him that we should have actually run it like a fish fry, where we give them an invitation at a cost, and you pay to come to the wedding. Because, all right, but we enjoyed it. It was wonderful, not very expensive.
So them never have no money, yeah? And we can't play the whole tape. Tomorrow going to split make it here. Because they 50, nobody not coming. They couldn't afford it. Them that just sell the ticket like a fish fry. That means you don't have no money. You couldn't have, how much, 45 million? Never have it.
47 million. And let us cement that being in saying that there is no way that Juliet Holness would be telling lie. And let me say why. Let me say why.
You catch her right, so?
Yeah. Let me say why.
She not agree. Yes.
Yeah, let me say why. She wouldn't be telling lie. Now, if Andrew Holness, right, take 2 years to amass $47 million, why Andrew Holness want to go in politics?
One. But ask yourself a next thing again.
Taking 2 years.
Well, on Byron, ask yourself a next thing. If you go to the charity, never do a real work, you know.
Yes.
That charity, we just do a little charity. That means where you get the money from the charity, or you get the money 45 million in 2 years.
47 million.
So in any way, I'm not joking or anything better. Where I say they say no make no sense better. A charity, oh no make 40 million better. The man if you know where I say no better. Never the facts checking around here. And you're too dangerous.
But if you divide that by 2, Wayne, you're not getting
your boss 147 now 23
million something. 23 million something.
5 million for 1 year.
Yeah, if you divide that by 2, so in 1 year, who would pay charity? Which charity will pay somebody for 1 year $23.5 million?
That's what a politician get now. Since I'm at 300%.
Exactly. Okay. All right. So now we debunk that. Now we debunk that. And we know say, okay, all right, a lie. We caught Andrew Holness redundant in the cookie jar. His hands tied up in the cookie jar. Now let us move now. I am showing the people them something here. Why Andrew Holness is fighting so hard in terms of not wanting FID to investigate and go back to admin, because that is problem for Andrew Holness.
Yes.
That is problem for Andrew Holness. Right? Now, let us travel beyond 2009, right? So you know that between 2006 to 2009, Ministry of Education contract run through, you understand, governor doing thing and railway, blah, 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 all of that are run.
So Byron, so Bruce come in 2007 and him turn Minister of Education Deso from 2007. So yes, from 2007 to right Deso. And then as right in boss, in big.
Exactly. So Bruce was in big, so watch this now. All that money that you understand being made as it relates to the breaching of procurement rules and all that money that being juggled between, of course, Gavin and the illegal awarding of contracts, right, helped to strengthen ADMAT. Now that ADMAT, with all of that money, ADMAT now spent some money in terms of buying up some properties. Right? Roughly about 4 to 5 properties, right, that had been purchased. Now the money run low, but Andrew Holness made another advance as it relates to zeroing on a land at Beverly Hills in 2011. More of the people have to follow me. So when Andrew Holness zoomed in on that land in 2011 in Beverly Hills, right, Andrew Holness made 4 transactions to pay for the land. So it tells you that all the money that Andrew Holness had accumulated had trickled down, right? He didn't have all of that cash, right? Because all of that cash was fully utilized already. So then the 4 transactions that he used to now deals with the land. Now, I want to show people something about SSL, because SSL is going to engage in this.
Yes.
Now, people need to remember that between 2007 to 2009, right, Andrew Holness also be a part of SSL. When Andrew Holness being a part of SSL, at the same time, Paul Chang Young and Associates and Hugh Croskery, they were in court dealing with the 1995 financial meltdown, right, as it relates to what happened and where Paul Chang Young, right, had tried to swingle off 19 properties to Hugh Croskery, right, and Hugh Croskery eyed those properties. So now I am only showing you as it relates to the history of Hugh Croskery, where Andrew Holness would have known about Hugh Croskery and SSL. Now, what Paul Chang Young had done had given Hugh Croskery, right, the Paul Chang Young and Associates that Hugh Croskery use and transform it into SSL. Why Byron bring up that? I bring up that because it is important. Watch this now. In 2011, Andrew Holness paid for the land. Now, what happened between 2011, let us go to 2012. Now, remember now, Andrew Holness would have been in SSL from 2008 coming up.
Yes,
right? Now, so 2012, right, Andrew Holness now would have been into SSL 4 years. Very right. Now, watch this now. In 2012, Bolt put his money, Usain Bolt, put his money into SSL, right? Now,
CMA would start moving about.
The investigations established that the same time Usain Bolt put his money into SSL 2012, it was the very same time Bolt money came out.
Yep.
Now, let us look what happened in 2012. All of a sudden, 2012, Andrew Holness began to build his big mansion at Beverly Hills and used 4 years to complete that big mansion. Now, in 2012, when Andrew Holness started to build that big mansion, guess what? Also, in 2012, Juliet Holness start to build to. As it relates
she couldn't finish pay feet, don't it?
Yes.
And they want more money. That's for sure them have the 47 million, and them not have the money but them say them have.
Exactly.
Yes.
So Andrew Holness start to build up Beverly Hills, and Juliet Holness, right, start to deal with lease flat.
Yes.
Right? Now, as it relates to the amount of money spent between then and now, as it relates to Juliet Holness in court, out of Juliet Holness' own mouth, Juliet Holness is saying that her property value $800 million.
Investment. No, she said investment.
Investment.
Yeah, investment. Invest $10. But she said 800 million. But the woman come out and say she couldn't pay her for the 22 million for the land one time. But now she have 800 million to invest.
Yes.
It was not my word. Camera show it to you know. Not my word.
So the question is, okay, let us back into to 2011. Then if 2011 Andrew Holness, right, used 4 transactions to pay for the land. Where Andrew Holness would have gotten money from to build that house at Beverly Hills, right, as it relates to the cost of that house. And if an evaluator evaluated the house, right, and said the lease the house cost was $200 million. Andrew Holness go against that and said, no, the house doesn't cost $200 million. The house costs only $51 million. A big mansion like that. A big, huge mansion like that with I mean, you have to say partially quarter mile of stone, expensive stone cut wall. You understand? That alone is more than $51 million in people. The stone wall is more than $51 million. But anyway, Andrew Holness said, no, that is not right. Andrew Holness said, bullshit. Let me tell you what Andrew Holness said. Bullshit. That doesn't cost $200 million. It costs $51 million because I, Andrew Holness, helped to build that property. Now let us listen to what Andrew Holness said.
All right. So
Andrew Holness had done carpentry at school, you know.
Yes.
Have nothing to do with stone.
Yes.
But yet Andrew Holness said he helped to cut those stones.
I hear them. With gravel, you know, and cement and thing, gravel. You know, lay them stone with gravel neither, you know.
Yes. Andrew Holness said he helped, you understand, to cut those stones. And while Andrew Holness supposed to be in Parliament doing the people's business, Andrew Holness said he was busy, you understand, helping to build his home. Right? Now, just look at that in the people and show them it is a lie. His house doesn't cost $200 million, right? It only costs $51 million because of him helping to build, right? Now, let me show you something, people. So there obviously a problem here. So when you have them 2 million there, they run out, right? And I try to defend Andrew Holness. Andrew Holness cannot be defended. Under no circumstances. He cannot be defended.
Nope.
Now, let us look to the source of the serious problem. So when the Integrity Commission investigators start to look at Andrew Holness' statutory declaration, Andrew Holness' statutory declaration for 2021, here why Andrew Holness just cannot be defended. For anybody who will try to defend Andrew Holness. Andrew Holness' statutory declaration for 2021 have Andrew Holness total income, assets, and liability at $172 million.
Yep.
People, I want you to listen to me. I want you to go on Google search engine. Because me can't go on it, you know, and search for it, you know, them black men.
Yes. But me will show them, yeah.
Yeah, right? Andrew Holness right? 2021 statutory declaration, right? Total income, assets, and liability, $172 million. All right. So let us accept that. So while we accept that, let us look as it relates to Andrew Holness between the period 2020 and 2023. Between the period 2020 and 2023, Andrew Holness, right, have over $470 million running various accounts.
Yeah.
So all those people who want to defend Andrew Holness need to come out and speak about this. So let us talk about this now. Between the period 2020 and 2023, Andrew Holness have $470 million.
473, yes.
Running through various accounts.
Yeah,
but let us look at the time. Let us look at the time because the time is important. Why the time is important? Now let us get into it. In 2020 was the height of the pandemic.
Yep.
That extend up to 2021. Pandemic period. Now in the pandemic, we know that many entities globally would have closed down.
Yes.
Right?
Even the hotel in Jamaica closed down. Everything closed down. Yes.
Even the hotels.
Yes.
That's what Lonesome said. Impacted. Yes. Many institutions impacted.
Mm-hmm.
What Andrew Holness need to identify to us are those institutions within the period 2021 that he would have so-called have done investment with, and where he would have gotten return on his investment between those periods. Right? Between those periods when many institutions globally would have been impacted in a very negative way. Andrew Holness were a miracle during those periods, where other persons and people being affected. Andrew Holness return on his investment. People. So this is critically serious. So when we see that the Integrity Commission investigators are investigating and moving strategically with everything that happened and with the obstacles that they have as it relates to the corruption prosecutor and the DPP, we have to applaud very much the Integrity Commission investigators, right, in spite of the obstacles, right, still surge to do Jamaica justice.
And Byron, we have to stand up to them 100%. The whole of we, people, the whole of we, the pan line, I think we, overseeing diaspora and everything, we stand with them 100%. Because of them, Angela just run and just do him things. When promise. Not only that, let me say back something to you, Byron. You know, same wife. Remember, them buy a land for $22 million.
Yes.
There is no way she could have got quote and say, $800 million my property value, the house them not done yet. So you couldn't, and would have valid that when it not done, sell nothing yet. You understand what I say, Byron? 22 million to pay feet.
Exactly.
That's right. Look what she say, so. Look what she say, so, Byron. 22 million. But the investment which I invest in
this, watch this though. This is the Prime Minister wife. You see it? Look here. Impossible to fix. Look on this. Said now, Juliet Holness tells court her 800 million housing project doom to fail if issues with access road not addressed. 800 million housing project. Now, you the ask, remember I just tell her the she not wasn't have the money or nothing at all. Right? And them show you, them might come from and if you declare.
I have a part of paper now which show you what she tell them say at the project, at the investment at 800 million. At the project. 22 million for the land alone in a Byron. We don't need to put the thing on it and it's not done yet. But me yes, I father 7 million when I sell for if she have 120 of them, 120 of them unit there for 47 million and over $5 billion that value no better.
Exactly.
If you sell for 50 million I want that will be like 6 billion flat right there, so when you sell them. So $5 billion, if I fall 7 million per one of the unit.
You're perfectly right. Yeah.
Yes. So, you know, when you say 800 million investment, remember the land itself, and about 600 million she get it for something, she get it for 22 million.
22 million.
So she'll tell you how much I invest, you can make that money. And nearly $1 billion investment, that brother.
Exactly. You're right. You're perfectly right.
And 22 million for the land.
Yeah.
So it's going to be, you know, well, we're going to lose to 800 million investment. Yeah. And you said, Juliet, oh, you know, you and your husband were married from 97, that's 27 years. And when I talked before that, like 30 years. And you know, you have a bank account, a giant bank account. Both of them, not all. Not all. There are some, you know, see on nothing, like a Juliet put him on something. It looks spooky. If Andrew have somebody in him constituency when him say him up here, he must she have giant account, not your wife. Your wife. Okay, your wife for your part, the next part of your life, right?
Yes.
We now post up this and everything together, but why want to separate everything else? If nobody not peeking at that, if one boss, one still standing. Oh, God, that alone we can't say, brother, but it's spooky. Not your melting pot. Turn on your mic.
Come in, Melton.
Melton attack like, yes, your melting pot. No, we're not hear your melting pot. We're not hear your mic. Plug in your mic. Plug in. Then, all right, come in out here. Just go. Look at it. Just plug it out and plug it in back. The mic itself. The earpiece. Plug it out. No, we're not hear you. And you know. You wait, go out and come in back right now. Just go out and come in back. Because of it, yeah, man. Yeah, brother. So I got 22 million for that. So she go and tell the court that you can't change them out. You cannot. And then we look for that thing, you know. So right away, you know, all we do, you know, we just remember, you know, we not adopt nothing from them, you know, brother. And them own words we are holding by. Them can't say we are said this or we are said that. Because we are holding by them own words. When we just trace say Andrew Holness, him go talk on himself. When him go tell the IC say, don't just wait us read. When him just tell them say admat and when him transfer and him transfer it this so and then put it over there to his son. So nobody must talk to it. So you can just offload the thing and nobody not say nothing. Eh?
Exactly.
All right, yeah, you know.
Yeah.
No, I'm clear.
All right.
Yes.
Let me say something that, you know, arises out, you know, where we are discussed right now. As it relates to when the valuator value Andrew Holness Beverly Hills property at over 200 million. Now, any person, you know, or personnel, you know, who go into real estate development, you know, want the highest value. So it is strange when the valuator value that property at over 200 million, but Andrew said, no, I want to go 51 million.
Let me chuck something with this map somewhere else, you know. How is it that Andrew is not an expert in valuating? He not do the valuator job. And the valuator come value your house when you are selling it and he might tell you where it value. He might deal with it and value it for you. Forget a higher bid and everything when you are selling. And Andrew I said, no, you know what it's him have a problem when him challenge everybody the IC. When the IC find it. No, back here them a quote. Remove this. No, it no value this, it value 50 million. You can't tell me that Andrew Holness. That's the valuator. When people are work with valuators, brother. If you have a house and you have to sell it, you know don't sell it so. You call in the professional. And he might evaluate it for you. He might make sure nothing no leak or so. He might make sure it's all right and things because people are buying it. He might tell you how much you can get for it. He might put it down there, whether your land or your house or something. And I may tell melting pot a mistake.
You're right,
no,
man. You're right.
You're right.
You now listen to Andrew. Continue melting pot.
Yeah. So what is mind-boggling, you know, is the vast disparity with the valuator value and Andrew Holness value. Andrew Holness literally rub off 75% of the value.
Yes.
So this is why we are trying to establish Andrew Holness as a con artist, as a real corrupted prime minister who flees the country of its wealth in order to enhance his own profile as a billionaire in the region. Because no way would you want to devalue your property when it's been valued by someone of professionalism within the capacity of building construction. But when you go further back, as it relates to even the interview given by Juliet Holness in regard to their wedding, it showed that these people didn't have any money at that time.
Yep.
You understand? When you look on all the earlier transaction, they could not go in full force. They had to go in part way as it relates to even the land and the 4 installment. Exactly. You understand? As with everything is there for all to see. These people have risen from nowhere to the super rich couple, not just in Jamaica, but in the Caribbean region. You understand? And as a prime minister, where are these wealth coming from when Jamaica is on the fringe of a collapsed nation? Because, I mean, our borrowing to the outside world, from the outside world, you know, is of such that I don't know when the debt will ever be finished paid off. Maybe probably next 400 or 500 years. So it's not a simple matter we're looking at, you know. But yet still, you have a couple that has, you know, transcended themselves into politics and become so super rich. When we look at the landscape of our politicians in Jamaica, we haven't seen anyone else rise to that stardom throughout them period in a politics, whether as prime minister or just, you know, ordinary ministers. So this is an alarm bell that is ringing and ringing louder and louder as the investigation goes on. Because we are now being privy to a lot more of Andrew Holness corruption than we thought. Because here it is, they have uncovered 28 accounts. Yeah. And that is another alarm bell. Why would one individual want to have 28 bank accounts? That alone supposed to tell all these idiotic people who are still defending Andrew Holness that something is fundamentally wrong with Andrew Holness and the way he go about doing his business. Because his business are not legitimate business. They are illicit business. That's why we find these, you know, loophole presenting themselves now. Where he was going with the corruption, they are being exposed. Shell company, housing development, trucking empire, and the list goes on and on. Because remember, you know, we have the most fundamental part of everything, you know, what we call the chopping empire. Because remember, you know, grants come for Jamaican in the pandemic period, and that money has never been delivered to the people. And no one has given an accurate account of that money. It's as if nobody knows about this money. But this money was made public by the donors. Because even in the UK here, they make mention of it. So it's not like it was a secret to me, or I did have to rely on the local media fraternity to give me that privilege of information. I got it from right here in the UK. But here is Andrew Holness don't have any accountability for that money. And we know the people did not get that money. What the people get was an austerity measure on top of the pandemic situation. As it relates to mass and people being locked up. And what you can't lock up people. You can't look for imprison people from various aspects of different communities in Jamaica and put them in a cell block. You're going to breed the virus. You increase the virus. But this was what Andrew Holness and his cronies them went ahead and did. So they take away the grant that should have helped the people through the pandemic as it relates to their social life, providing for food and medicines and all these things, medication, and instead them give them austerity measure. And at the same time, the entire world closed off, but Andrew Holness was conducting business.
Yes.
And we are not saying it because we are just trying to witch hunt him. We have the documents as it relates to the bank account transaction to prove that Andrew Holness was carrying out various type of activities throughout the period of lockdown. So we want to ask the question once again to these people who are defending Andrew Holness. Are you people for real?
Cannot be defended.
You'll never be for real. Because if you people who are trying to lend support, and I mean, I go back to Tumblebug. She was being interviewed by a reporter, and the reporter vividly asked her the question, do you think it is right now that the Prime Minister is under so much investigation for him to be leading the party? She said, yes, he has the full backing of the cabinet. And in fact, he's leading the party and he will be the leader for the party entering into the general election.
Burn them out, melting pot.
So this is Tumblebug once again making herself look big, stupid, and fool for Andrew Holness.
Remember me told you.
Because she has no credibility and she should not serve
none
as Minister
whatsoever
for Information. Because misinformation she given to the general public. Information that have no substance as it relates to the current state of affairs with Andrew Holness and his corruption. So we are looking at some people who are endeavor to destroy Jamaica. It's a cliques. The great leader Joshua Michael Manley highlighted the cliques from within the early 70s. Beware of the cliques them in Jamaica. They're a minority, but they are very, very detrimental to the development and the growth of Jamaica. And because now we are seeing women participating in corruption, not having the same endeavor feeling for the rest of women who are not privileged to their style of life, who are suffering to feed their kids, who have lost their kids because there was no medical personnel to serve in the institution because they were not being paid and they went on strike. So we have to ask the question once again, once and for all. Are these people for real? Are they patriotic Jamaicans?
No.
What we are looking at is a bunch of criminals masquerading as parliamentarian, using the space of the parliamentarian office as it relates to House of Parliament to gain their wealth at the expense of the taxpayers. They have sold out the country to foreign investors. And that alone tells you that these people are not prepared to work on a day-to-day basis.
So true.
I think as your port of entry, that should be gazetted under your coat of arms, under your flag. It's now being operated by foreign investors. So there goes the security right away.
True.
You don't have any control of what's coming into your space because you're not in charge of your border. The 2 international airports divest, but them have interest now in airstrip all over the place. Because these airstrips, you know, are like what you'd call, you know, them play field as it relates to them shipment of cocaine coming in. Because them can't run it through the people them airport who them divest the international airport them to, you know. So them have to create for them own infrastructure. Like Ian Fleming. You understand? But we see the largest drugs bust in the history of Jamaica, but are still not yet been solved. But the man who was in charge of crime at the time.
Like, it was the largest drug bust, and after that bust, nobody gonna get locked up, and then them got even larger than that. They got to 12 billion. Them easy.
Yeah, because the one who come in down a wharf, there was bigger than that, but at the time, that one was the largest. Yeah. But when we look, we see the man who was in charge of crime.
Yes.
Fitz Bailey run out and come tell we say, yeah man, we have some name and we have to soon make some arrests in a couple of weeks' time.
Over here, you know,
when they know? When they know?
They're
gone.
Yes.
So what we are looking at, we are seeing they are creating a space where they can use some narrative to tell you some documents where they have and them mislead and all type of thing. And right now, that's why the only thing we just want in this, you know, space of time with Andrew Holness and the IC, me just want them move swift because if you give them people that small time, we all burn down the courthouse and tell us the documents burn up. As some dangerous people we are dealing with.
We have crowd and all kind of thing.
As some dangerous mastermind criminal we are dealing with down at Jamaica.
Yeah.
And what is so surprising, as I just make mention of, is the amount of women who are privy to the corruption. Stret 5, Thompson, Mummy Return, Tumblebug, Mama Cow, Cougar, Zullet.
I'm to Athlete Foot.
Hot. Them in have to come to her. I want to left out Athlete Foot, you mad? You have to come to Athlete Foot.
Yeah, man.
I remember she a minister, a spokesman and security, you know.
Yes, man, Athlete Foot, that man.
And the shadow minister for security. But right now, Jamaica in a state where
carpet.
Carpet no even exists, man. Carpet a riffraff man. Carpet a autism patient, man. You look and see, brother. The autism patient, that man. You know, she need a mental institution to find herself, man. And leave politics. She don't fit politics. Everybody can see that. Hey, let me tell you. You see with she, you know, she coming like you remember when you used to go on and eat, your mother sell her and go look for nanny?
Yeah, man.
Back nanny.
I said, come, please, come.
All right. That's how she operate. So, me them 2 PR in her mind. Because everything we should do, just wash with that over, so, you know. Because you can't come give me carpet for drive motor vehicle pan. That totally, you know, unconstitution. Yeah, you have to give a solid road.
Yeah.
With culvert and sidewalk.
What happened to you, mattress?
You mattress. Well, you know, she's something alone to herself, you know. Because she take herself, make a bed, you know. Not just a mattress, you know. Everybody lay down upon she. You understand?
Yeah.
So you know them, the people are not fit for politics. That is why the country is in such a dilemma. Because when you look at the professionality that these people bring, it is non-existent. They are not professional. They are criminals. I keep echoing the sentiment over and over. These people are real criminals. But yet still we see them go after the little small people them from the ghetto. Because that's what they always try to do, you know. They always try to have something in the news to detract from what they are doing. I see them now start to have some farmer upsurge in our policing. Yeah, why? See one run out and talk about vigilante at Christmas time and you must carry your mobile phone and your cash and you must walk certain place even if it's longer. All type of garbage him run out with. You cannot ask your citizen in that regard. What you're supposed to do is supposed to prevent the crime from happening to your citizen. So we always talk about crime prevention. You have to have a crime management in place. But your force is so corrupted you can't manage them. Because them is them are one of the main perpetrators with crime in Jamaica. The police force not see much of them and the soldier them. Yeah, because when them now sell the gun and ammunition, you know, them actually do the crime itself. In a night, dress up as policeman. And people accept them and feel good, so police are come a gunman them. We have video with them around place, broad daylight. So that just show you, say, the whole social fabric of Jamaica has been decayed like a tooth under Andrew Holness administration. Everything become rotten, my brother. There's no satisfaction of desire where the Jamaican people is concerned. They are thirsty for good governance. Their body has lost all the fuel and the energy of a leader. And in so saying, they have seen their life being destroyed, their communities being destroyed, their children being killed, and all type of inactivity that does not coincide with good governance happening to them. Road mash up, people being taxed same way, heavily taxed, heavily burdened by all various activists that work for Andrew Holness, such as the Transport Authority, the Wrecking Company, the police, and the examiner. They are the four stake player that is harassing motorists in Jamaica, even from the standpoint that is staring them in their eyes that there is no road to keep a vehicle in good condition.
But you know.
So right now, if you piggyback to the past 10 years, the government owe the motorists them money. By law. But it's just because Jamaican people are not incorporating their common sense and move at these corrupted people. Because nowhere else in the world would a government approach trafficking the way Jamaican government and authorities as it relates to the Road Traffic Act, those people approach it. Because a sensible government would look at the infrastructure before him employ measures. You understand? So when we look at the whole panorama that's been played out in Jamaica, it's all corruption led by Andrew Holness. And I don't want anyone from any walks of life in Jamaica to come out in solidarity with a criminal prime minister. Unless you don't want nothing good out of the life you have left. Why don't want Andrew Holness to live this big charitable life? Because I'm not working now. Not working. Just I collect the money. So a charitable life Andrew Holness to live. Him a sucking out like scorpion down there. You understand? But uno hungry can buy chicken back. Me see now him can something come dash pound and say a fish tail. You understand? All them things that are insult to the way we live in Jamaica. Because it look like all Jamaica do. You understand? So when we look at the whole panorama that's been played out in Jamaica, it's all corruption led by Andrew Holness. And I don't want anyone from any walks of life in Jamaica to come out in solidarity with a criminal prime minister. Unless you don't want nothing good out of the life you have left. Why don't want Andrew Holness to live this big charitable life? Because I'm not working now. Not working. Just I collect the money. So a charitable life Andrew Holness to live. is just accept all the garbage from overseas. Can them come dump in our country, we take them. You understand? So it just goes to show that.
But remember, say, how would they do it? Adesha, they take the people them feces and throw it on my food. The people them have too much time, just take them in a bag, stink up the place, may say mash up some people, and take it, buy it and carry it and give farmers a throw it on the food. Then look how much we have ourselves. If you have throw it by your food, you know, use your own then. We don't want that pan of food. You take the people them feces from overseas and pay them ton of money for it, you know, for filth. And can't control our food. Sure, give farmer for up. You remember when them take a bag how would they take, how which one of them do it? And abuse administration?
And abuse administration, man.
They take the filth and can't control our
yeah,
food.
Because but them actually fertilizer filth that you know, brother. And that never did process the right way, you know. It damage the people and food at Jamaica.
Yeah, man.
It couldn't grow the food, couldn't grow the crop. But this is what has been happening to Jamaica.
Millions of dollars, man. Because we have out there now, we have fertilizer we buy and them have that method. First time people that say you throw this palm food, but we don't want that. It carries too much bacteria and thing and it don't work out. So we don't want that. A tough tongue do it. A tough tongue, yes, him same one. Him same one. You understand? Pay them thing and them going with all the time. Oh, like, see me here talk to, but want give them we have to show them. We have to show them video here and then we talk on it. You talk on it.
I tough to not call some muda do it. I call some muda.
I call some muda do it?
Call some muda.
I call some muda do it?
Yeah.
Yes. Him always do some things when I write, you know. When the youth them get mashed up and thing, you know, him come and say him no find no fault. You know what is how the government has steered? Them put on them one people like it's a slave driver thing, you know. Anything goes. Yes, Pastor Vicky, you good? You good, brother? So when I video them lie. People don't watch this. Very important. Andrew Holness, watch this too.
A shell company can be used to launder money by concealing the true ownership of assets and making it difficult for authorities to trace the origin of funds. Here's how the process might work. 1. Incorporation. The money launderer creates a shell company in a jurisdiction with lax disclosure requirements, or by using nominee directors and shareholders to conceal the true ownership of the company. 2. Bank account. The shell company opens a bank account in its name, and the money launderer deposits the proceeds of illegal activities into the account. 3. Layering. The money launderer uses the shell company to conduct a series of financial transactions, such as buying and selling assets, or making wire transfers, in order to create a complex trail of transactions that makes it difficult for authorities to trace the origin of the funds. This process is often referred to as layering. 4. Integration. The money launderer uses the shell company to integrate the proceeds of illegal activities into the legitimate financial system by investing the funds in legitimate assets or businesses. By using a shell company, the money launderer can conceal the true ownership of assets and make it difficult for authorities to trace the origin of funds. This allows the laundered money to be integrated into the legitimate financial system and makes it appear as though the funds are the proceeds of legitimate activities. It is important to note that the use of shell companies for money laundering is illegal and subject to criminal penalties. To prevent the abuse of shell companies for money laundering, many countries have implemented laws and regulations that require companies to disclose their beneficial ownership information and to take steps to prevent the misuse of shell companies for illegal purposes. In conclusion, the use of shell companies for money laundering is a serious problem that undermines the integrity of financial systems and undermines public trust in financial institutions. To prevent and detect money laundering, it is important for companies to disclose their beneficial ownership information, for governments to implement laws and regulations to prevent the misuse of shell companies for illegal purposes, and for financial institutions to implement strong anti-money laundering measures.
Okay, let me just give one more never talk on this. One more, Anjo. We put on one. We'll go to the politicians themselves now. But not the politicians themselves too, you know.
In kleptocrats all over the world, distinct patterns emerge. The The thing about kleptocrats is that the moves and tricks they like to use each contain the seeds of their own destruction. They can get caught at every stage. And those patterns are the basis of our new game, Kleptocrat, How to Hide Dirty Money. In virtually every case, corrupt people took 6 separate steps to conceal their assets. Take the money under the table, create a financial structure to hide it, move the money into the structure, network with family members to run the operation, cover up their tracks, and last, since it's no fun for the money to sit gathering dust, take the money out and enjoy it. I know nothing about Paul Manafort or the allegations in the indictment against him. I read the Manafort indictment, and lo and behold, the allegations match the 6-step pattern. It says Manafort allegedly took $18 million secretly from Ukraine. That's step 1. Step 2, Manafort allegedly created a blizzard of offshore companies with names like Blatilla. They're on tiny islands I bet most people couldn't even find on a map. Then step 3, he allegedly started moving the money around. 6 separate companies on the island of Cyprus sent more than $5 million to a home improvement firm in the Hamptons. Step 4, Manafort allegedly enlisted some of his relatives to help. The indictment says he got his daughter and son-in-law to pretend to live in the real estate he was buying. Step 5 is covering up your secret money. Manafort allegedly lied to his accountants and to the federal agents about the funds. He used multiple passports, and he, quote, developed a false and misleading cover story, unquote. Lastly, Manafort allegedly brought the money out to play. The indictment says he, quote, used his hidden overseas wealth to enjoy a lavish lifestyle in the United States. I guess sometimes a game can help you understand the news.
Guilty and not guilty. I think them tell him when them fine him, you know. And the foot gone too, you know. Gone, man. Him gone. So this is how you saw them do it by one. But that look like it like an Andrew Holness thing me I look on so.
Same pattern of trail, may I say. Same pattern of trail.
Look, Wayne, it's the exact thing that Andrew Holness is doing. You understand? And that is one of the reasons why I am saying that the investigation need to lead back to ADMAT. Because it is ADMAT that he used, right, in terms of the corrupt. All right, this is where ADMAT eyed the first corruption. Remember that you are talking about between Andrew Holness being the Ministry of Education between 2007 to 2009, being the Ministry of, in the Ministry of Education, right? Those money. So let us follow as it relates to what Wayne Lonesome played. Those money that, you know, both the Ministry of Education awarded to Gavin, right, and all those procurement breaches, right, of corrupted activities, right? All of that money, you understand, now put into ADMAT, right? Now, here is ADMAT now. ADMAT now have to do the washing. So if you are not following the original crime as it relates to the 2007 to 2009, the illegal money, right, that goes into ADMAT. Now, ADMAT now is the machine, the laundry machine, that is now going to wash the money. So what ADMAT, if you're not paying attention to how ADMAT get the money, you understand, and you accept ADMAT as a legitimate company, ADMAT now is what now start to turn, you understand, the face of the corruption. So ADMAT now start to buy 5 properties. Now those properties, what Andrew Holness bought, right? Those properties may now have been doing real investment. You understand? But remember, you know, as it relates to the original source of cash, go into ADMAT. ADMAT now wash the money as it relates to buying up those properties. Those properties now start to do now some legitimate business. You understand? So now that is how he tried to conceal, right, these situations. Now, to the fact that we don't move up to 2011, right? He totally, because of the money that he used to spend from ADMAT, that, you know, he used and buy the properties, he run short of cash, right? So remember also what he had done, he also had additional plan, The additional plan that he had, well, that people need to realize what Andrew Holness had done. Andrew Holness, Ardley Shaw, Hugh Croskery, right, know very well that SSL is a Ponzi scheme, right? So then, that's why it is important for SSL investigation to also conclude, because who are other persons in SSL? Who are other persons? You may be surprised that if you are to get the truth out of SSL, what you are going to find, other ministers in SSL, right? Now you're going to also find SSL was also funding, right, the JLP campaign. You see where I'm going? Now, where it looked too clear and too damning on Andrew Holness was to the fact that during the Integrity Commission investigation report, you have seen where $143,000 leaving from SSL going into Andrew Holness' account that he now take $0 in NCB. No, that's a big thing, Nobody overlook that, That is really big, Let me tell you why it's really big. Is it that NCB encouraged with Andrew Holness to move millions of dollars through NCB? Washing. So NCB now serve as also a laundry machine to also wash Andrew Holness' money. Because if you notice, if you look on some NCB accounts that Andrew have in NCB, millions of dollars were moving through NCB. So you see the reason why they have to sit on SSL and don't want SSL to come out any at all. And all right, here's the trick of it. Nigel Clark claimed that, okay, he's going to get FBI to investigate. But they realized that no, if the FBI investigate, right?
Everything gone.
We are not going to control the narrative. You understand? Exactly, because you can't
get the one of them not up. All right, let me tell you something, Byron. No move. Let me tell you something straight up. You see, if you investigate the head, the chief servant, why the one of them have pick up theme, the one of them have, remember, it's like a spider and them push out a web.
Exactly.
And more people are going to fall in that web. That's why I see for them, I run out them mouth and I say, blah, 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 because they know them are going to fall too. They can't afford FBI to come and investigate that,
But watch this.
Yes.
Watch this in terms of showing that NCB is in total coerced with Andrew Holness corruption, and NCB used as a system, as a laundry system to launder Andrew Holness money. Now watch this. At one point, right, where this is very huge, this is $700,000. Remember that, Remember that?
Yes.
$700,000.
Yes.
But Andrew Holness claims that, okay, all right, it's a mistake. It is not 700,000 US. It's 700,000 Jamaica.
Yeah,
no, that cannot happen. That cannot happen in the bank.
No, sir.
You understand? And number one, if that goes into the bank, all right, let us speak about that. If you have 700,000 US dollars going into the
bank, Jamaica, that's in better.
Yes, 700,000 US dollars go into the bank, right? What is going to happen by the end of the day, right? You are going to have, of course, right, checks and balance reveal that, right? Because the checks and balance is going to show you inconsistencies. Because if you put in, right, 700,000 US dollars and a mistake you made to say 713,000, that is going to be discovered, you understand, at day one.
Yeah, man.
So for that to be in the account for gone over years, you know that a lie.
Yeah, man. 713.
That's a lie. That is totally lie. That can't happen. So you see, patterns, you see signs where NCB, and that is one of the reasons why now Andrew Holness, and I'm nothing to NCB. Yeah, man. Yeah, just what my account, $0 in account. You understand? Because some money they come in from SSL to you. That's why now when I look at the whole thing, you know that Andrew Holness couldn't have a normal profile account in SSL. What it seems to me, you understand, and this is my subjective opinion, it seems to me that Andrew Holness, Hugh Croskery, Ardley Shaw, and others, you understand, know that SSL is a Ponzi scheme and they were set to benefit. Now, that is one of the reasons why, you understand, you see NHT money go into SSL. Egg tax money go into SSL. NIS money go into SSL. A new weird mechanism that they found out to rob, you understand, the country resources. To rob the country resources. So, even, all right, even although we are talking about Bolt, you understand, because Bolt seems to be missing the most. What people not paying attention to is the level of cruelty what Andrew Holness administration had done in terms of taxpayers' money, right? And persons who contribute to NHT money. The man take all of them money they and put in a SSL, knowing say SSL is a Ponzi scheme. Because the time when Andrew Holness joined SSL, Hugh Croskery in 2008 when Andrew Holness joined SSL, right? Come way up, right? Hugh Croskery and Park Young, the battle in court as it relates to the 1995 financial meltdown. You understand? So Andrew Holness would have must know.
No, man.
Andrew Holness would have. Let me tell you why Andrew Holness.
A matter of fact, what Park Young did, him hide the thing, make you transfer hide the thing because him in a court, so you transfer the one that hide him just when the court order him to turn it over and him turn it over to you, Casper.
Exactly.
So when do and you them come to the same thing, you know, I do one bag of foolishness.
Exactly.
Say strike 2 times.
Exactly.
But the same company want to change its name.
But
I'll send you an associate to SSL.
But hear the wickedness now. Hear the wickedness now with Andrew Holness to show that Andrew Holness have no heart. Trust me. Don't take Andrew Holness simple. Andrew Holness has the heart worse than Hitler. Tell me to tell you that. Tell me to tell you that. In the meantime, Andrew Holness, they execute the financial meltdown in 1995. Andrew Holness doing it and saying, PNP and FinSA. Meanwhile, the man is doing it. Let me tell you why the man is doing it. The very same thing that caused the financial meltdown in 1995 is the very same thing that Andrew Holness did with Berita.
Yeah. Same thing. Unsecured loan. And Berita not supposed to give loan neither, brother.
No.
Berita not supposed to give loan, but him get 50 million loan. Mine I pay them, I pay him for kickbacks, you know, brother. Him can't tell me no. Mine is kickback 50, but he just says I know.
Kickback money that man. Kickback money that man.
All right, the very same thing Dan Crawford and Edward Siaga. The very same thing Dan Crawford and Edward Siaga did in the 1995. And the very same thing Andrew Holness done in Berita. Same thing. You understand?
Yeah.
And meanwhile, I do it, you understand, he must spread propaganda. You understand about PNP and FinSA. Spreading propaganda. You see how wicked he is? Remember, now let me show you the next thing. That's why, even when, you understand, he was now calling out for Azan to be punished. He was under investigation. So you see the similar behavior? You see the similar behavior coming out? It is Andrew Holness. This is Andrew Holness.
Hey, brother.
Now, let me show you the behavior similar to Andrew Holness. Meanwhile, Andrew Holness, the promise to the people that JPS is going to bring in big company to bring down the energy costs. when Andrew Holness talked about that in 2015, you know. And in 2017, when Andrew Holness get in a power, what Andrew Holness do? Andrew Holness and Adley Shaw remove the protection that the People's National Party have as it relates to JPS usage. Kilowatt per hour.
Move it from 300
from 350 to 150.
150. And you only pay for like 100. So yeah,
100.
Raise it. Raise it. But yes, you know,
100, you know, them go say 150, but when we see the document, we see 100. And that's what them lower it too.
Hey, Byron.
Yeah.
I want to remember this too. I want to the era Andrew Burke. When them love come and talk about everything, you know, them use it for political thing. Listen this. Listen.
We will bring information to people where they are and in the forms they use.
And also it shows that our party leader is on the ground.
Yeah.
Suffering the same pressures that the average Jamaican suffer. Yeah, going to a gas station, don't know which one have good or bad gas. And
you hear these people? That's how we change over the gas, you know. But here I'm wicked because not the film car, you know, my one would have to pull out the mesh thing there, what them call it, the pump and clean it. So a new man have to clean my one, he might go through the little thing in the tank, you know, but this in play political. Just listen what I say, people.
That's purchased bad gas.
Can you imagine, on that instance, I was about to take my wife to church in our constituency. We didn't intend to film the car. It was an intention of filming me taking my wife.
So why you never film your wife before going to church? Why you never have a chronicle of she going to I'll be a full thing him talking about that. The intention of him taking wife is not the first time I take him wife to church, you know. Him know all over these years. But this time now our election, he might have film him and take him wife to church. But it end up that him film bad gas. You saw him lie and wicked?
Exactly.
So if you help me film my wife, me don't film her more than one time. You know say, well, me just I take her to church, and the first thing go church. But continue.
To church, what would be our day like in the constituency, that kind of thing. What role would I be playing there? And it so happens that when we went into the car, it wouldn't start. and that became the story rather than me taking my wife to church. Because she was saying to me, hurry, hurry. And I'm pressing the button and the car wouldn't start. We took the car to a mechanic who recommended that we get a particular treatment. And booster cleaner and a particular treatment.
So that treatment thing get me have to clean my pump. Take it out, the gas pump then at the back there. So is that and this him use it make a political football. We have to hold him accountable, yeah? This a taxpayers' money and everything. We know nothing with him.
And then we went to the Healing Nation on Wednesday. We went to the Healing Nation convention at the arena. Car was driving perfectly fine then. But when we hit the highway,
stop again.
It just lost power until it shut down. I thought we drove out the first one and we refilled at a different station.
It is.
And apparently another boat of bad gas. But you see, I think what has happened is that
I'm gonna stop it, people. You know what? More to listen this good. Hear this good in a Titans. People, Agnasi thinking again tie and Dr. Crab. I thought like them didn't have the car to them, all them are the car tire. Same that drive pan them because I think him and him wife go to hear them now on the boat about gas. This them take my political football in the people. So Andrew Holness when love talk about don't take the road make political football. Don't take this. Everything is political. Andrew when I let you go. Well, only by your own words, brother. If you go where play.
My view, I don't know, I'm just speculating. I suspect that it has so clogged the injectors.
Yeah, change the injectors.
That you know, right now it is now in the garage being I don't know what has happened. Tomorrow I'll get the full diagnosis from the mechanic, but I suspect
him don't know what has happened. This is Andrew same way with the house again. When the man tell him say much the man say it value over 200,000, him say no, it value 50. Right? The valuator, you know. No, the car. In carry the car, him say him don't know what happened. But him gonna tell me what happened now. Him suggest. I play politics. Me not tell you say you can't follow him. Just you hear him like?
Yeah, man, me hear him, man.
Yeah.
But remember, you know,
between engine.
When
this is
back,
that.
yeah.
Well, I know we ain't.
Yes.
Where we see in front of we are, so I saw where the whole of them rehearse, you know. That's why you see them attack in conjunction.
Yes. He
Them
must say
rehearsing.
anti-tax. When am I press
Yeah.
gas? Yes. Yeah.
That between engine and injectors, that I would have a serious repair bill.
Some problem.
And they're
You know, he don't know what happening, you know. But he matter about engine ejector. If you don't know, make the man them fix it and never tell you. You see me I talk about? This is called fake news and false news. But Angela spread.
But when he speaks to the issue of bad guys, from first time experience.
People who make that kind of criticism don't understand media. You use all the forms of communication. And it's my job. My job is to bring to the public the political understanding of issues.
All right, let me stop you, Andrew. So our job as Titan, as Jamaican, have to bring to the fore the political understanding that the issue and show up everything with the government are going on now, the people and everything. Same exact thing, brother. No different. You can't give it no chat. Let me play it back again. You know what I'm saying, Film Jabawa? Listen now. Listen now.
People who make that kind of criticism don't understand media. You use all the forms of communication. And it's my job. My job is to bring to the public the political understanding of issues. I get a sense from Jamaicans that they like, that there are some Jamaicans who want to make excuses for government failure.
Yeah, people.
This is an ultimate failure of the government.
So people, where you call the big dirty thinking bad with them, what can kill them on the patrol and where you call the hospital, where them say them not take responsibility for. Let me pray him again. You know, have no excuse from us. Andrew Holness, I am in the hands. Pray about this.
Don't understand media. You use all the forms of communication. And it's my job. Yes. My job is to bring to the public the political understanding of issues. I get a sense from Jamaicans that they like, that there are some Jamaicans who want to make excuses for government failure.
You talk Tumblebug and the one of them? And then you talk now.
Yeah.
Yes.
I want to use all the forms of communication. And when I am using all the forms of communication, them block me from the website.
Yes.
They block me from the website. You understand? And hear the hypocrite now. Listen to the hypocrite.
He says the government failure, you know. But no, you must blame the government for no road, no water, no light, nothing. And then he might tell about 50 years. We can't make Andrew play this pan. Nobody boy, hold him accountable. The government responsible for the world bad word and everything we are going, even the crime in Jamaica. Andrew Holness response to it and the one of them. Them can't give me a chat. All right, continue.
This is an ultimate failure of the government.
Yeah.
It's a political issue. Make no mistake about it.
Yeah.
You know, from our perspective, the law gives the minister a duty to supervise, oversee, and regulate.
So pass it on and tough on yourself and the whole of them. Even the 3 trillion at them with a blame for the money. Them, the law give them a duty for supervise and the one play it back. This is them failure, brother.
This is an ultimate failure of the government.
Yeah.
It's a political issue. Make no mistake about it.
Yeah.
You know, from our perspective, the law gives the minister a duty to supervise, oversee, and regulate the petroleum industry. There is a failure in that.
Okay.
So I am not apologizing to anyone who thinks that in doing my job I am politicizing. Of course, it is a political matter.
Yeah.
And, you know, one must also make the point. As it was in healthcare, we too face certain crises. We too face threats. But the Jamaica Labour Party, political administration of the government, did not have the results as the PNP had with Chick V and other threats. And
so you see that's what, hey, both side, your backside, yo. See more than him foot in him out again. Him say Chick V, the amount of dog and baby, them have the same, everything that they know. The amount of thing up and tough. What tough time come and say? Him not take blame. When you Google him and see him in the paper right now and say no, him gonna push back because him can't take blame. Andrew not fire him, you know. You hear what I'm saying? The minister and all kind of things, so much thing we play with him, you use it against him right across the board. Him can't tell me not who are hold him with everything we him say. Do you understand? All when him about political film business that him should have stepped down long time. All of the barbers them. Yes, lady.
Yeah. I mean, I look upon it now. It's a rhetoric of politics being played out by Andrew Holness and them two garbage there at the time when them have come up with them little frivolous speech there as it relates. If you notice, all them package some little thing for attack the government at the time. As I've been saying, it's politics Andrew Holness use and trick him way into government by utilizing this massive PR propaganda activity where him and him sperm wheel them orchestrate to bring down the People's National Party at the time, who was doing brilliantly with the local economy and building back Jamaica on a sustainable pathway to growth. We know we would have got this type of governance out of Andrew Holness because he was not a prime minister material. Andrew Holness is a criminal activist material. And so we are now bearing the brunt of his 9 year in office as it relates to our 3 trillion gone missing and lots more of benefit that come to Jamaica gone missing. And we see the corruption rising higher than the Manhattan building them in New York. You understand? Because how can you transgress with an application as it relates to planning permission for building project as a prime minister? But you go around that and do all various activity that me you don't even respect the KSMAC at the time. You understand? So what we see is a mafia man in front of we. And Andrew Holness is a mafia of the highest order.
Remember that NEPA is under the Prime Minister's responsibility. So the Prime Minister is not going to charge himself.
Exactly. Now, how can one man preside over 50 different agencies if you add FEMA one to it at 51, you know?
Yeah, at 50 him say, you know. So average at 50. When we are 19, him say 50, him say the one of them and damn thing. So
but and then you count FEMA office at 51 that him in charge of.
All right. Well, because him say at 50. Yes, so
you understand? So we are look on it.
Yes. Good.
When we are look on in front of we are now, then why are we paying these other people? We don't need to be paying them. Well, it's the same thing we see at the DPP.
Why we are paying 2 DPP?
Yes, exactly.
I'm going to get back some money for us checking.
So you see, right now, as me are speaking of Byron, as we as Titan brothers there right now, I dissect the whole of them corruption here, you know. Even with the DPP office, you know, with you having 2 DPP personnel, one was supposed to go on our yard from Santa, did come from 2005. But you still have all the still don't collect our money as salary for she. Big thinking dirty Strike 5. Strike 5 for go away. Because Strike 5 can't protect you again, Andrew Holness. Because the whole panty scheme with you and the DPP, them it unravel. Everybody see it. You understand? So, what to do? No dry and another little lunatic will come corrupt for yourself. Because me could never be Thompson, you know, and say me a masquerade as a DPP when the original DPP is still there, you know. Because right away, me know so now draw me in some farmer situation where I go, you know, flare up like a volcano in time to come. That office would have to be vacated by the previous DPP before me step in. Me now make true fame as the tag DPP would have given She Thompson. Me take them the role, you know. Because they in a plain to say corruption. That's why me I tell about some woman where we did expect better from in a Jamaica landscape of politics and administration. Them no good, brother. Them a help tear down the country along with the little criminal man them in a Labour Party. So when we look on in front of we once again, people, in a Jamaica, in a the diaspora, we see where the activities that they have carried out over this period of time as it relates to them 9 years is one of destruction. They did not build the country. They never go into politics to build the country because I say Andrew Holness play politics with the Jamaican electorate and trick him way into politics.
Yeah. Lied. Remember play the next one phone because we have beat him the other night. We have to play a couple more of the clips then because this is when they were in opposition, right? So we're going to play him now with the road and the lie and the road we mash up and attack him again. And look, sir, we'll play a couple more things with him, some short footage. We'll watch that one here. We'll watch that one here. Remember him just start them things outside. Look here.
The government allocated close to $4 billion to deal with urgent and emergency repairs of roads.
So what the money I got? What are the people? What are they? This is last year, November, you know. And then when you're urgent, you know, 4 billion, you know, people, no road, no fix, you know. And that's last year, November. Now play it out. Him said them allocate 4 billion. But July gone, them come back and say 3 billion in the hurricane. Now I might get 2 billion plus 40 billion. But that 4 billion are gone. And what that 3 billion are gone, by the way. So that 2, that is 9 billion, you know. You see me, I tell you so the money I move money better. 4 billion himself allocated, you know. This is last year, November. This at the conference, this may play back in the people. You have to listen like this. But hear this now. Me just play money when they were in opposition. I'm an opposition leader. And him say everything in politics. Hear what I'm going to say to the opposition now. When they road them stay. So hear this now.
This will not be enough. But we hear the cries of the people in the rural communities who feel that their roadways have been neglected.
Hear him now. So when you get up, you must say this at 4 billion, your road mash up and you're dead. And you laugh with this big dirty thinking black hag. You say him big and rusty and him look at dirty thinking self, man. Just sit down and move from front of me, man.
Back in front of
you know me already. I am not one to pretty up things. I'm going to tell you as it is.
Liar wicked.
Jamaica has more roads per square mile than most other countries. At one time, we were number 2 in the world. We are about number 4 or 5 now.
Nope, none of them. Remember.
We have a whole heap of roads. And everyone expects that the road must be asphalted to a certain condition. Let me bring to your attention that the number of roads that we have, maybe only 10% of them have been maintained from the time that they were constructed.
Nobody know why hear that. Kind of fix none from him coming. Yes, stop your politics and play with the people them. In an opposition, me just play when say the government should hold them to account for everything, right? And him and the government know the head. Yeah, we might tell the people them.
The standards that would allow them to stand up to the traffic that they take.
It is.
What does that mean? The roads in your communities, many of them were constructed 50 years ago.
And it still stand up. But you go build something for 5 months. And you're about. Continue.
No maintenance was done to them, maybe a little patching.
Lie, I tell. That's why that PWD. Me tell you, it's be a garbage, this piece of shit talk, you know. It made the biggest load. This is how lie.
Hold on a second there. This is one of the reasons why them, you know, get rid of PWD, you know.
Yes.
To have them farmer activity with them in control of. You understand?
Yes.
Because all the money where we hear, them say them spend on the road. But now him come at them conference and I make you know so some of the road are 50 years ago. So you them not touch no road. So where are the money? Where are the 4 billion and the 3 billion and the 2 billion and $9 billion that wait there and Holness?
That is the
reason. The question tonight.
Well, let me give you an answer. That is one of the reasons why Andrew Holness created the consolidated funds, right? We are sort of bundled, right? The government revenues within the consolidated funds. So whenever you have any form of situation where money have been unaccounted for, like what the integrity Janet Walder had said as it relates to $3 trillion unaccounted for, right? This is the reason why it's serious, because the government responsible, you understand, for take money from out of the consolidated funds and send to the various ministries, right? But when you bundle, like for example, right, tax that been collected from the taxi operators and so forth, right? All of that spin and gone into the consolidated funds, right? And so then when you take money, right, you cannot say, you know, which entity he take it from. You understand? Because everything bundled. You understand? It is the same thing he wants to do, you know, with the education tax, the NIS, and you know, and other taxes, right? He wants to bundle them.
And Byron, don't forget the tax where them they put on the gas.
Exactly. Right?
That special consumption tax where them put on fuel.
Exactly.
Where them say would have gone back into repairing the road, help to repair the road.
Yes.
Remember, we don't know about the money there, you know.
Exactly.
And we don't see the road a repair. Carry on, my brother.
So Janet Calder, you understand, is saying that you know, $3 trillion unaccounted for. You understand? Because she used that terminology, you understand, in terms of protecting herself professionally in saying that it is unaccounted for. You understand? So what Janet is saying, you understand? She doesn't know.
Yeah? All right. So if you have a ministry, I'm gonna break it down for the people them fast. I'm gonna give 100. We are the finance ministry. I'm sending over you. You're Minister of National Security or something. I'm sending $100. You know, you gotta take $10 buy some vehicle, you gotta take the next 20 buy something, and then the 30 do this. But you say you spend the $100, me not see no paper come in what me gotta do.
Exactly.
So it's simple. So we don't know. Can remember, you know, you can maybe spend in a security, you spend $20 and then you use you chop the rest.
Yeah.
We don't see no paper feet. We don't know if you have 50 you spend and then take the 50. We don't know if you spend 10 and take the 90.
But stop the Soviet. So yes. when Tumblebug coming out as it relates to talking about some ministries appropriating account, right? They don't have any form of trace.
No, not yet. Not.
So how those ministries are going to, those ministries who unable, you understand, 10 years going, 10 years going.
No, you're talking.
Yeah.
It's not, hold on, Byron. It's not just trace, but 10 years of untraceable documents.
10 years of untraceable documents.
Oh, now you tell me. Want to tell me something? So you tell me, say, how much 100 or how much 1,000 people are working in these ministry. Them might get paid for not sitting down and not doing nothing and do them job like back in the days. So that you tell me. Them just collect a pay and go home a month time and then them not do nothing at all. Them dead 12 months for everything was spent, you put it and you have accountant and then you have to go deal with it and fight it and do things. So you tell me, say, no, none of them can find. So each year it just pile up and them just long doing nothing. And I look, that mean the country now when they're on autopilot, brother.
Right. And remember, I know we
you know, say she don't skill the one of them in the show again.
We and Byron.
Yes,
we and
go ahead.
Byron.
Go ahead.
We and Byron. Listen this. Remember, that they should have an annual submission as it relates to what went on in that fiscal year.
No, them have it.
Not have.
Them have it, you know. I just them not do it. Them have it.
Them have it. But they didn't do it. So I'm just categorically throwing it out there.
Yeah, but them have it. That's it. Yeah.
Lie down, Wayne. Apart from that, each ministry have them own internal audit system.
That me tell you, like, yes.
Right? I mean, different from the auditor general,
Yes.
Yeah, we know that.
Have them independent internal audit system.
So when you say the while, all right. So the auditor general, you can't just send over a bulk and say, me get $1.
Exactly.
But you break down how it's spent. You can that you send over to her and me spend $1. That one to spend $10. But I know she not break down all the money she can get account all the money spent. Because you should supposed to audit that and send it over to she. And she saw the money spent on one. You understand? But she don't see it. She don't have it.
But
the box Andrew Holness and the government. Yes.
Here is where it gets tricky now,
Yes.
If you don't have no submitted documents coming from all these various ministry, how do you prepare a budget for the fiscal year coming?
That more I know.
How do you go about preparing a budget for the fiscal year?
And
that
yes,
is
the
coming.
budget that comes same way.
You understand?
Yeah. The problem
because nothing has been done under an administrative rules and regulation for you to know statistically what went on in the last year and how to balance it in the upcoming budget. So we are looking at criminals.
Yeah, the problem, melting pot, is that each of these ministries, as it relates to the respective permanent secretaries, right? It is the permanent secretary who really and truly has the sole responsibility, because the permanent secretary responsible for our account receivables and payments, right?
Yeah, we know that.
So and that is where now the appropriation account now is important, because the appropriation report is going to tell you, right? Oh, you understand the various expenditures. You understand it account for the various expenditures. So the appropriation account need to be submitted annually. Now, if it's submitted annually, what is going to be exposed in terms of the corruption is the breaking down of the procurement guidelines never being followed. And so then, if the procurement guidelines never been followed, you have problems as it relates to traceability.
Yes, so here is Byron. So the permanent secretary, yes, and them do this. But let me tell you this, the box stop like what Andrew just said, with him, with the ministers. See him just so when him now opposition when we just play, because remember, them have to make sure the permanent secretary do them job. Them sign up on these things, Byron. Then, so you say, Andrew one is can't just PMP in that call out to the one of them resign now, Because master phone the job, I want them boss now, and none of them just make them do what they want to do. When if you resign, and people run up and down, no, but for one, and you own this and the whole government accountable for these things. Them is nastiness, Byron. You remember, we just play say the colonel in a better.
Because Wayne, watch this.
Yes.
Remember, we have roughly about four different tiers of accountability.
Yes.
Right? You have the permanent secretary. You understand? You have the internal audit system,
yes.
right? And you have parliamentarians who need
yes.
to check up, who need to check up, you know, as it relates to the processing.
Yes.
You understand?
Them
because
them can fight the permanent secretary too, you know.
exactly.
Yes.
So when you have, if the permanent secretary fail, right, the internal audit system fail, right, the parliamentarian fail, right, so all the tiers, so that goes to what we call systemic corruption.
Yeah, of course.
Systemic corruption.
And this is why I want to just say something, because I mean, say all of us is working, out there being employed in a factory or office. I know that workplace supposed to have some farmer, you know, upper echelon of management that preside over the working staff.
Exactly.
That oversee what are the functional duty, whether it's been carried out or not. So who preside over these permanent secretary?
But hear this now. Me knock Andrew with something now. So in a film cabinet, him can't get approval for go build house and do anything. Him force them for the one. Why never force them to go make sure them paper, them everything file on time. You see the right thing with them for them now do it, Byron?
Not doing it.
Them can build building and do anything with them want. And there is none of them agents that can stop them. But when them do the right thing and them thing have a fight, you know, see it. Because of them, I chop them money, you know, brother. When them order them, move it to, you know.
Andrew Holness, design a system, you understand, where he control. You understand? So while that system that he control, you understand, misappropriating several monies, it is also his system that should investigate. So then when you have KSMSC situation occurs, you understand, how NEPA treat with it. NEPA under his portfolio. NEPA under the office. The office.
But I'm a breach it. I'm a breach one of them.
This is madness, my brother.
Madness, Byron. Madness, real madness. You know?
You know when them tell them to do one of this, brother, because they want to go do what I do. I can finish playing because we see what time I running up. And I start eat my cimarron from early, you know.
You think you alone have cimarron? Cimarron call me to, you know.
Nobody mash me up in a tune, no, say a tea me, I drink them over the night.
But everybody now wants at one time that the government must find the resources to fix all these roads. It's not possible.
Yeah. Everybody wants one time.
And by the way, while I was preparing for this speech, I came across a budget presentation of a former prime minister.
So, you prepare? Me write in a book. Me have a book and I prepare a speech. Or me came across a budget, the same kind of budget with wood. But unless you search feet. Or you came across the budget with the former prime minister. That make any sense? You prepare a speech. Where if you come talk to the people, them truthful. But you came across and then write your thing from that. A copy of this, you know?
In 1994.
Yeah,
and you know what? He was making the same point about roads. This is not a problem that emerged overnight.
Nobody not chat to this guy. You have to fix the road. This is just last year. After 8 years. Last year, you know. 8 years. And when him coming up with this long chatting. This is
if you notice, Wayne and Byron, if you notice, you know, just listen the period of time him go back to 1994, 30 years.
Yeah, nearly
30 years back in time, you know. So when one try to establish to we know is that this is a long-standing problem.
We don't want to hear that from him.
But we don't want to hear that because this man here when him run as opposition, him can't do everything.
But him come down and blame everybody and go back in our next thing. That's why I tell the same no good. Yeah, this.
But people want to take it and turn it into a political problem.
You hear this, people? Political. Him and the prime minister attack the opposition. And me just play it. Hey. Come on, matter of fact, I'm sending outside.
Hey, well, I know. I Scooby do this, me see in front of me, you know.
Yes.
I real Scooby do this because in any cases, it is a political problem. Because politicians can get it done. But it don't have to be a political platform, as in the sense that you play the game where you always like to say political football.
And don't take it make political problem. When him does tell me, look here, look at them, that's what I say. Catch him, let me catch him back.
Dead babies.
He just said that, let me catch him back.
Why is it that these things happen?
It is.
My job is to bring to the public the political understanding of issues. I get a sense from Jamaicans that they like, that there are some Jamaicans who want to make excuses for government failure.
It is.
This is an ultimate failure of the government. It's a political issue. Make no mistake about it.
Okay.
You know, from our perspective, the law gives the minister a duty to supervise, oversee, and regulate the petroleum industry.
Oh, what are the loans? Hold it there. Hold it there. Hold it there. Hold it there. What are the loans from?
Minister, supervise, oversee, and regulate. So it's a political problem. No, in a film thing, you must take it make political problem. Him have a sense. Him just shoot himself 9 foot. Him can't give him a chat, brother.
Him shoot himself all 9 big head.
Boy,
this man a garbage we see in front of me. But me glad you answer the question when me go put answer. You answer it already.
Alright, you're right. Mash up something about. We have when him just to mash up him own self, brother.
Mash up him own self.
Him just so don't make it political in about when you play it back when him in the opposition role. Him said the law can them read what them have.
Yeah.
The minister for supervise, him for detect and him for regulate. So him can say, hey, make a move you, because you not do your work.
Of course.
Him are the man over them. Him are the minister. See? And him come and say this. But no, you must, the opposition and nobody must take it make political football. You don't use reverse psychology around here, pound. We know that with him. We are born him. Brothers, may I tell you that tonight, everybody have my phone, them blow up and I say, hey, Titan and two acting about people. Right now, at time for me to eat me swim around, because I watch the time. I want to eat him swim around. And like when I go drinking cup of tea, you know.
As usual.
Sure, I want to go drinking cup of tea, but I swim around time. See? So, no, brothers.
Out.
We there, you know.
Yeah,
people, we out. You know, so the later again, I worries, you know. Later.
All right.
TITANS! No two way about it. 1 AM.
Start packing because you are going.